It's day number 6.
I think you be starting too fast, bro. Jeez.
I mean, no, I be just filling up the dead air in the beginning. I mean, I don't be getting right into the album. All right, guys, track number 1 on the tape is actually the statement. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Let's go. Like, nah. You know, just welcome whoever already here, whoever not. Make your way. Find your seats. Yeah, it's day 6. DJ DAX review week. Going through the entire discography. 6 days at it so far, and I mean, it's been a fun, cool time. Going down memory lane, all the way from, in a way, 2011, but 2013 with Begin the Legend, and all the way up with the tape. We find ourselves in 2018. What I consider to be the Bemunity half of this review week, and we got a very, 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 very special duo today. But before I get into the very, 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 very special duo, I got a very special panel with me today. A group of fellas. I got BZAR, Camo,
Hello,
and I got J Walk. Yeah. It's just gonna be cool. We're gonna listen to some of these DAX songs. We're gonna make fun of everything that sucks, and we're gonna be like, that's alright, to everything that was amazing.
no cap.
Yeah, I don't
like
exist,
that
bro.
idea.
I said Camo.
Yeah, I was wondering that.
I said Camo. You just didn't say anything.
I didn't. I know. I don't think any of us heard you say Camo.
I
Man,
didn't say Camo, but I was the one.
BZAR.
it's gonna be on the VOD.
I was the one who
I
talked over it. He said BZAR and said Hedo as he said Camo.
Yeah, possibly.
Oh.
Hey, what
We'll
up,
hear it in the
JHB the GOAT? I don't know what you're the GOAT in, man, but
Oh, JHB stands for Jalu Beats. The go.
holla at me.
Yeah, holla at me. Fuck.
That's right. What's up, man? Yeah, we got a cool little review day for us today. I actually wanted to start off with some very unrelated information, some bonus content, I guess. I was remembering that I used to do, or I would do, hashtags for my projects as an easy way to kind of market them or to have people remember what I was talking about. And of course, I was looking through the Artificial EPs hashtag, which actually spans the first one and the second one. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff, like this cool little doodle. Girl, you know it's artificial.
You're not showing that on stream.
You said what now?
You're not showing that on stream, baby.
Oh, that's right. Boom, boop, bap, and there you go.
You know the savage.
Yeah, beat, bop, boop. What was it? Beat, bop, do, flow. Yeah, it rhymed with flow or something like that.
You know the savage. Beep bop bo. Hey, can I get this?
Tat it on your lower back.
Put on Tula.
Yeah, you can.
Better idea.
Okay. Today I was cleaning out my drawers and I finally got rid of this shirt. Not that I've been wearing it, but just so you guys don't say anything.
What does that say?
It's a swag.
It's a
Oh
swag.
God.
But of course, rocking the braids.
Honestly, dog, I'm gonna throw out that diamond shirt too, bro.
Nah, that shit heat.
You throw out that Diamond Supply shirt, I'll give you a free Tula shirt. Like, dead ass.
That's fine.
Damn.
I'll buy a diamond shirt. Diamond Supply shirt. Just throw it out to get a free Tula shirt.
Let's hear this.
Actually about to go finalize this last song and mix the EP. Mixing.
Loud as hell.
The more I know him,
Oh
the
my
more
God.
I know love, and the more I know love. Break time. Actually about to go finalize this.
What is that? What is that on your plate, bro?
Let's play it again. Let's play it again.
Finalize this last
Easy,
song
that
and mix
croissant.
the EP. Mixing.
I'm doing good, JHB. From D&G himself.
The more I know him, the more I know love, and the more I know love. Break time.
I don't know.
Bro,
Actually about to go.
I don't know.
Break time.
the
Break
break.
time.
That's what I mean, bro. Break time.
Niggas
Yeah.
listening to Artificial 2.
Yeah, Cheyenne was like, honey, it's time for your 4 That's a whole He kind of just looks Asian.
It was the Nick.
Screw that other dude. Never in the mood, that attitude.
Yo, he used to be so happy.
Yeah, white guy. Now he's just Cuban. And
He's Cuban.
He's just ugh.
yeah.
Oh, why sound like?
Shorty thinks it came to the ghost. Brothers do the same when I boast. Sometimes you feel like the head honcho. Sometimes you cry too much, need a poncho. I need some answers, I need pronto.
Yee.
I'm not sure what that was.
So just interesting stuff like that, and some of the hashtags. Definitely advise you guys to check it out if you have nothing to do.
I'm so glad Pete didn't keep that beard like that. Like,
You really look like a
Looks like a
nice
dad.
guy. Yeah. Like a stepdad or something.
But Yeet, today we got The Tape, released the same year as Artificial EP Volume 2. And of course DAXLing and the BZANKs, all 2018 projects.
Surprising. Your work ethic is insane.
It's something. I mean, you guys certainly release way more than I do in a year. But
Yeah, shout out Lax or whatever.
But I think I used to release
Actually,
a lot more
You
projects.
release more than me. And BZAR releases less than both of us.
What's important to remember when considering this project is that it's sort of complementary to the Artificial EP Volume 2 in that a lot of the experiences that informed that album I was sort of reacting to in the tape. For those of you that don't know, there was some people of interest, even a person of interest as of 2018 that I sort of had a falling out with and, sort of getting over. But that whole process was kind of, I guess, difficult. Like, a nigga's like, yeah, man, I'm good. Solo cry on the eye with the single tear rolling down the face. So, yeah, I mean, the tape sort of, like, served as a new experience. Because it was actually the first time in my life that I ever felt angry, and I was like, I need to go make a song.
You made a couple.
And I made a couple. Because what I realized was that I was working through something. I was working through an anger. And look, I understand this is something I'm sharing at the risk of sounding bitter, or at least bitter at the time. Which, I mean, I don't think it truly was. It was just, part of, like, a stage. Like, it was a process, and the part I found myself in was sort of a stage of anger. And if we read the description here, it says, when it comes to acting out of anger, this is the definitive album chronicling that experience. There's fire in my blood and names in the mud, which is something you'll actually hear on the project in a little cameo.
Hey, girl, what you doing too?
Yep, which is track number 12.
What you doing again?
Yeah, you
What
girl,
you doing now?
girl, you up, coming soon.
Girl, you still doing what you doing?
Girl or boy?
Yeah, kid or squid. But yeah, so that it's a Splatoon meme.
Yeah.
But
You're a good fan. Anything for a kid.
that's right.
Yeah, what that means.
With this one, we got 10 tracks. I still consider it on the conservative side. I mean, it's one more than Artificial EP. Now that I think about it.
And considering the first album was 20, I just get it over with.
Yeah, it's at least half of that, right? That's decent. Shout out to Trev in the chat, Illuminati. But yeah, I think the immediately noticeable thing here is that the tracks are all named the same, I guess, with the at the beginning. It plays into what I said right here, that when it comes to acting out of anger, this is the definitive album. This album sort of has me being angry because what I was in the search of was definition. I wanted something definite, something definitive, and I wasn't getting it, so I was throwing a fit. So in a last ditch effort, in an attempt to get some of that, some definition in my life, it all started with a statement, the statement.
Great transition.
All right, let's get it in.
That's the way it is.
That's the way it is.
Hey David, it's Carissa. Alright, bye.
The Eagles, Panache.
That's right.
Let's get it.
Let's go in.
I just hit a Britney taught her new songs in my box. Man, I've been rapping since I thought step on squares. David's forte, run the game because it's hot. Man, listen here because it's important. Don't ask Jack about my birthday, just sit down and know I man, iPhone X on Discord and emphasis because I'm abhorrent. Mouth go off like I got rocks. Man, I turned down the reinforcements. Y'all never knew it got new components. Perfect hunter, no opponents. My bars need their proper shonen. You rappers still looking dormant. It's crap, your trash is sorted. Your best for recycled.
Let's go.
Them infatuated. What I'm saying is don't back and forth. That's the source of the forces. Portion from more of the Lord's devotion. I'm coasting with a goal of portion and Porsche. Listening to oceans debating. I fabricated like Jaden. This myth is loaded. No venom, but I feel like Odin. That's moving from being open. I made it. I hate it. I waited. I played it.
All right, I'm pausing. Yee, the statement. I think this is the song, like the song where I was angry. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna just go in real quick. And Yee, there's a lot I was voicing here, like what is it? Don't ask Jack about my birthday. Who was I mad about my birthday? Let's see. I said iPhone X on Discord and emphasis because I'm abhorrent. That's kind of, I mean, it's not a stretch, but it's like super not obvious in that I emphasized X literally because that's what's going on. I'm mad because of my ex. There's something going on there, and I said emphasis because I'm abhorrent. A whole bunch of other bars, notably. I'm coasting with a girl of porcelain in a Porsche listening to Oceans. White girl is the idea here. And yeah, the shorty in fact was a white girl. And the song Oceans is like a worship song, which is a reference to the fact that she's a pastor's kid. So Yee. I like borrow this line. Like Jaden, this myth is loaded. No venom. I say no venom because real venom is where I heard that from, so I wanted to, pay homage to that. And I said, but I feel like Odin, which is a song that Louvre had recently released. So I said, that's Louvre if I'm being open. So yeah, just two homages and also immediately saying who they're from. So, yeah, let's keep the ball rolling.
Got my payment, you're gonna feel like Odin. That's Louvre if I'm being open. I made it, I hate it, I waited it.
Oh, the next oh no, I know where we're going.
You don't got my payment, you're kissing payment. It's a proper statement, hold it, women. Keep a locker with the wrist. I go off if you insist. No romancing, no, I never like to kiss. Love for bad, reminisce. Don't say it could be worse. I'm done with whack artists asking, do it reverse. Boy, prep your PayPal. Your pals be reverse. Gal took a swing at love, let's play Wii Sports.
Okay. So
yeah, let me tell you what I hate about that line.
Yeah, your ability to hear, apparently. But go ahead, go off. I'll explain.
Yeah. Your pals pee reverse. Like, nigga, he peeing in reverse, dog. It's going back up his urethra, dog. What you telling me right now, dog?
Listen, that's why when you listen to these albums, you gotta pull up these lyrics as much as you can. I mean, that's hilarious. I love that. Cabo's always giving me shit for that since he heard it. Let me see. Tifa Lockhart with the wrist is a reference. When I did a remix, when Natsu Fuji conducted the remix of Peso Pete's Ryuko Matoi, he got several artists on it. I was one of them. And in reference to Peso's line, feel like Cloud Strife with the blade, I said Tifa Lockhart with the wrist. And that became its own thing. Natsu made a free verse, open verse, like contest thing out of that section of my lyrics. It became sort of like a community thing, way before community. So yeah, I just kind of brought it back. And then that line, of course, boy, prep your PayPal. your pal's P's reversed. Of course, a P meaning their P brain. And yeah, they got the wrong idea if they think they're getting a free verse for free. Next up, an AVR Forever mention.
Your pals be reverse. Yeah, I took a swing at love, let's play with sports. AVR Forever, it's in classic. Late night in Vegas, gotta practice. Don't we keep it litty with no matches? I don't add up, show me where your math is. 70-second rev and boom Baptist. Heavily God's the one that be making it hot.
I need
an Emily over, cause her speed is definitely over 9,000.
That's her right here.
So still look astounding.
I'm popping off like a soda can. You don't understand. Let's go. Hey, double up, then a home run. Jump out your stands. Let's go. Hey, you ain't Donald Trump, but I was.
He said, look.
Let's go. Hey, well respected. I'm well connected. Like I play land. Let's go. Make her days. These will make her way. DJ Screw Cup. Throwing up a set. Shout out DJ DAX. Coming through the racks. If I'm going broke, I sell the back to make a stack. Call me Mega Man, Blue Bomber, I be spazzing. Young 9C, I'm the young rap savage. Boy, you better practice, you are not no pro. I'ma go solo, fucking hoes, oh no. Young 9C, I got the steez, ayy. And I got your bitch on her knees, ayy. Ayy, you know I'm rolling up the green, ayy. Pop the bean, then I sit lean, ayy. Boy, I got the diamonds on my fleece, ayy. Boy, I got the diamonds on my teeth, wait. I just pulled up, mixing lean with the tea. And I got the fucking edible ice cream, let's go.
Never had that, but that sounds delicious. I've got to try that. Edible ice cream. Well, not even edible ice cream, but I guess edibles that are ice cream or whatever. Or ice creams that are edible. But yeah. Before we get into this transition, I mean, the statement is what it is. And, I mean, honestly, if I were to say how I feel about the song, I mean, I definitely like it. I think, especially as an intro, it's an interesting kind of start of just like, boom, we're mad already. Like, it's just you can tell the tone's different. It's nothing like Cielo Mio. I'm not easing you into anything. You can tell what this project's about. And it's interesting, too, that it's not super on the nose about the fact that it's about an X thing. Because it's, that's not really the focus of this. This isn't just a bitter artificial. It's supposed to be at least exploring that energy of anger. So, that comes with the delivery and whatnot. Even the effort put into the over-rhyming in the second 8-bar with the opponents of Shonen and Dormant and Sorted and Jordans and all that. Very fun, very satisfying, and I think even to listen to still. Honestly, the last 8, if I were to nitpick like DAX of today, I would have tried to hone the delivery on those last 8 a little more. There's a bit on the first half, and in the second half there's a bit as well, but it just sort of works, I think, enough. And 9C does what he does. He's not matching my energy in terms of, I guess, like the lyrics, but he's doing his version of that with, obviously he has a great voice and a great delivery for that. So, yeah. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts before we get into this cameo. Cool. All right. As you hear it, just bear in mind this was recorded as a voice memo when I took my trip to El Salvador.
Or Honduras or something.
Yeah. Next up, the move.
On Twitter. I guess you start with the eye emojis.
Let's go.
My baby's been throwing that fit because I brought the squad. We litty on God.
Let's go.
We got the keys. Side of the side. I war like it's COD. Y'all are facade. K on the beat. I had a nod. Yeah. DAX, he be the prodigy. Do this to my mama proud of me. Lately, shit has been an oddity. I'm in one motion to do I feel like $1 million. This become Monson Gonzalez. Haters are better acknowledged. Put him through college. Team picture, we be the scholars. Gas me up, give me a solid. Solid like snake. Full up like Danny Phantom. Through my city looking handsome. Flexing on the trail like Samsung. Do it random like Miranda.
Cosgrove.
Taking shots, we got the gas. Don't lines on this cause it cracks. Like Drake got the muscle relax. Don't hold me, but you know. I got the message and finna express it. We chop it like judo. Getting for lessons, got photos obsession. She said I look chulo. When baby the best and we're keeping it guessing. No stressing so cool. Got something in mind for tonight. I'ma try.
Let's go.
Function up to something. Everybody's moving slow-mo. Got my ninjas counting this. Get it, wicked in the dojo. And my baddies feeling chatty. Rider, tatty, inky, yellow. At the function up to something. Everybody's moving. Up to something. Okay. Up to something. Okay. Up to something. Okay. Up to something. Okay. Up to something.
Let's go. Big money.
Big money bandit, cause by the beach, no sand shit. Wrist on water, Atlantis. Visit will be nothing without cloud, so I gotta get it back into these rappers, boy, I gotta do the damage. Dick so big, Titanic. Rappers always bugging for collab like a mantis. Tell a bitch, say a fucking prayer when she slide through.
Pulling on the panties, yeah.
Robbing your granny. Feel like Future won a Grammy. She cannot stand me. All of these rappers, they plotting and planning. Run up and run back aboard and no plan me. Up in this space like I'm motherfucking dandy. I don't have time to go chill with you pansies. Speak about cash, but they don't understand me.
That's right.
Move now. I'm coming through with my crew now. Many desert with a hammer, boy, you screw now. Then he finna fade it in and out like a double stack. I'm the type of motherfucker scream damn cause a heart attack. Money never sleeps, so I'm up like a Soniac. Feeling like a Cadillac, pussy you a Pontiac. See it in the stars, murder beats like a Zodiac. Pull up jacks, hold me back. I don't wanna kill this rookie, but I had a snap. Yeah, you a bitch, huh?
And your whole crew a bitch.
And your mama, she a bitch, huh?
And your daddy, he a bitch.
Right DK on the beat, huh? Hear the snares going flip, huh? Yeah, I wanna saw my switch, huh? But I never fucking switch.
At the function, up to something. Everybody's moving slow-mo. Got my ninjas counting this. Get it, wicked in the dojo. And my baddies feeling chatty. Rider, tatty, inky, yellow. At the function, up to something. Everybody's moving. Up to something. Okay. 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 Up to something.
Okay, I wanted to share something real quick. For Peso's verse, shout out to Shal and Josh saying such a dope mixtape, and JHB agreeing. Yeah, thank you, of course.
Jaywalk needs to be dragged.
Jaywalk needs to be dragged, of course. We shall cancel him. It's like, nah, I'll drag him up.
Yeah.
Jaywalk's back. But something I wanted to share was that for Peso's verse, at first, when I first heard it, I was actually kind of disappointed because to me, it almost felt like, I was like, damn, did this man just freestyle this, man? Like, I was like, he just gave me like some freestyle verse as you guys know who work with him, he can tend to do that all the time, you know? Because, for one, it's easy for him. And for two, a lot of his freestyles are actually decently passable. And I think for three, at this point, he's reached a stage where he can freestyle something, and he can also sort of adorn it and like fix it and work and sort of edit and make it actually like something like really good, especially if like he really cares or whatever. But I guess when I received this, I was not very like keen on it, and part of it was like also like a lot of his delivery. Like I went in and I tweaked and I fixed on Audition and this and that. So I had like a very jaded view of his verse. But then, honestly, it wasn't until like post-launch that like I realized people's reactions to his verse, actually pointed to like a different reality, which was that he had a lot of bars in there. For as, off the dome sounding as it was. Like, I did my little thing, with a couple references and bars or whatever. But this man was, with the pace he was keeping, it's more impressive how many jabs he put in there. You can read it for yourself, for sure. But, that shit was just so fun. Now I definitely love his verse. We've got a... Go ahead.
I know, this is for after we're done listening to the tape, but we should definitely throw in my joke artwork for the tape as well.
Okay. Make sure to remember that.
All right.
As for the song itself, because it's damn near done, I enjoy it. It's cool. I like the hook. Probably would have done something a little different with some of like the ad-libs and some of the mixing and this and that. But it's neat. It's decent. Like, it definitely works. It's tolerable. And I think the whole song has a cool energy. That being said, we're about to get into a beat flip and a transition into the next song. So let's get it.
Can I say this real quick?
Dale, dale, dale.
Risey K used the same goddamn riser on every one of his beats, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's right. It's like the 808 Mafia thing or whatever.
Yeah, like 808 Milli nigga.
That's right. Let's go.
Screw that other dude.
Of course, Peso did not do that take like that. He said it like normally, and I stretched the hell out of it in audition. Listen up. That's right. Peso.
Kind of hoping you'd block me back. The lord of the Ox Courthouse parties you spot me at. Y'all swore that your health's poor. Sick hypochondriacs fit more, but what's important for the cognac? Cause I didn't drink enough.
That's October 26th.
Now you're laughing on my lap after how much Henny sips. I'm finna finish you. I'm in a bitter mood. No interview. I waves like inner tubes. Rappers, they match my infinitude. Girl, you know what I meant by my music. Always you're in the loop. It ain't true. You don't listen, and frankly, that's winter food. I'm grabbing a figure.
That's cold.
Approaches a little dude. Uber X in my tennis shoes with my ex in her tennis shoes. Been the move.
My mom. Which in Spanish, or in English would be translated to, David, go clean your room. Which, of course, translates, or transitions into the cleanse.
Will you sleep on me when I turn 23? I'm more excited than Jordan's Islands and
Just for violence.
violence. Hold my sword and knife as I go inside. Don't go in silence. Dumped all in porta potties and war medallions. Haters are shorter sighted. Fall divided. I'm Mordecai. Stick close to the king. Y'all just want some important parties. Board of thought is need me a potent audience. Shorty Saudi. Yeah. Lately, God and I are really friends, but the murder's just a means to an end. It's a cleanse. Killing those that rap like I
Hate the season.
Killing foes, Seminole, it's the major deacon. 72, already know the boots glacier freezing. In the show, if not Sasuke met, I'll say it's treason. The bet's on the table, I'm cutting the cable, you suckers need tired off. My body like stable, she's willing and able. I lift the chin, actually slow. It's us in the table, she's forward like label. I'm taking the Clorox, removing the label. Be done with the ladle, it's my shorty cradles. It flips it on fatal, and we feel the siren call.
Yeah.
They said I'm dirty. Y'all represent me. Don't think you heard me, it's a means to an end. Bro, there's no need to pretend. Instead, just know it's the cleanse. They said I'm dirty.
Set that Clorox, girl.
They said I'm dirty. Y'all never heard me. So it's just a means to an end. It's the cleanse.
My flow dirty, y'all shit trash. Recycling shit for some extra cash. And I see past. All y'all niggas like all y'all niggas are made of glass. And y'all won't last. Kiss my ass. I come first, cause a nigga don't. Yeah, we know. Shut up, ho. I got mine now, you can go. I like to switch my rhymes every time. Who am I? Yeah. Bitch, I'm in my prime. Gotta climb till it's mine, yeah. And she is a dime. It's a crime when she chimes in. Told her girl it's fine, but it's time. Be a mime. Shh. Really just feel like I'm evil. I touch you, I'm killing my people. They mad cause a nigga don't need you. I'm on the scale like a needle. I roll dice like high stakes. In the sky, it might stick. In the gym, hold it, my weight. This my shot, shoot, my straight.
Let's go.
Mad cause I'm here, yeah. I know this shit isn't fair, but I don't care. You should be aware, yeah. All my niggas
Stay around.
They do not fit in with squares. So let homie watch you stare. Cause they'll shoot but not hear like they hearing impaired.
Oh my god. Oh. Okay. I'm just blown away by that verse all over again. But let me just remark on something. So yeah, my verse, immediately getting into it with "Will you sleep on me when I turn 23?" I explain a lot of these lyrics on the Genius, of course. For those of you that don't know, every album that we've covered so far has had a Genius page for it. I believe everything besides DAX link, since I didn't have a way to like get everybody's lyrics on there, I think. Yeah, you can go there and check out the annotations. I usually provide something for most songs. That being said, yeah, I did my little thing, mostly because what I knew was I wanted to keep up with those who would end up on the song. You know, I wasn't the kind of person that was like, all right, y'all can go first so I can peep and then try to outdo y'all. I was like, you know, I'm going to do my thing all natural and just see how it turns out. But I knew definitely what I had in mind was to get my personal top 2 best rappers in the community on this song, which in fact is Walter West and Mangod, who we jokingly call him Manga D. Yeah. So, you know, that had me trying a little bit with my over rhyming schemes and some of the quote unquote like bars or whatever at the latter half. Like I really like killing those that rap like I hate the season. Of course, the season of, you know, To Be Jolly, you know, rapping presence. Yeah. So shit like that. The Satsuki line is just a callback to, you know, if it's treason if it's not Satsuki, because the whole Satsuki season thing. So all that, really emphasizing the cleanse aspect. With an interesting line, inside I'm dirty. I won't even open that up. Just head to the annotations if you want to see what I postulate. But Mangod's verse is insane. Decently like I mean, not entirely, but it's, you know, it's got its flow and it's mainly appealing because of that. But that last 4 is insane. I really love how he ends it. Watch where you stare, 'cause they'll shoot, but not here, like they're hearing impaired. Which is just a great flip. I love that. We got West coming up next. And we can ride that out.
Don't think you heard me, it's a means to an end. Bro, there's no need to pretend, instead just know it's a cleanse. They said I'm dirty.
Yes, I'm dirty. Let's go, Walter. That's right. Filthy.
Alright, it's me versus research and polo t-shirts and Uggs. Think addictive is dope and they eager to research the drug. Make one OD, let one go free to rehab till she relapse and she strapped. So I get top until she dislocate her kneecap. Recap from nights inside through my day.
Because your mom is a skank.
She asked if I'm down for a train, but I ain't Thomas the Tank. Head to your aunt's like, stop what you're doing and please strip for me. Mood, SpongeBob at the bubble bowl, sweet victory. Tripping shrooms got me seeing spirits at night. Rappers Holyfield, bitch, I'm coming for your ear with the mic. Lyrics get tight as that bikini on Respucia at the water park. I'm breaking racist jaws apart and breaking niggas' daughters' hearts.
Damn.
Applying pressure, how do you handle it? Self-reflection, flexing, I'm fresh in some FUBU flannel shit. Caricature content, I came to animate the grid. If you mad, then you can slit your wrist like Hannah Baker did, bitch.
Let's go. Disgusting. Multi-syllabic rhymes. I'm telling y'all, step it up. Let's go.
Hold up, can you vision DAX in this accurate? Someone think I'm Christian activist, mad as shit activist. I'm never adequate, had it just banned the manners. Listen, God exists, factor is true. I'm preaching the doggone truth. CR, lock on you. BZAR, we are 3-star, 2% like the sub on group. And I got proof. Current internet, I log on too. Got girlfriends and great friends, but who are the fake friends? Kitchen whipping, singing beats with no apron, no worries, cause wifeys are making the same thing. DAX's hip is amazing. Concepts undefeated, girlfriend never needed. What you mean conceited? Any beat I eat it, sing my Christ Elisa, BSB, I need it in the cleanse.
There's fire in the blood and names in the mud.
Let's go.
Got my affirmative stance. Point at the floor, make you dance. Just like for next in my pants. Cause the power's in my hands.
Yo, who's typing?
My fault.
Okay. Your wife is just messaged that dude.
Music will punch out your tooth. Hold up, just missing the roof. These haters are asking for proof, but the work I'm putting beat is scoop. Still on the move.
Rocking Takashi Murakami. Hello? Damn. Okay.
Can't confirm he does have Takashi Murakami and Virgil Abloh on the shoes.
That's right. Shout out to Shaolin Josh with the follow. Appreciate you. This man said multi-Slavic. This nigga.
That's what I don't know. Are you say the word yourself? Say it.
It's like syllabic.
But why do you say it like that? Is that really how it's said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Multi-Slavic.
Dude, that's so weird.
It's not syllabic.
Why not?
Like you could even go for like syllabic or some shit like that. But
thank you, Shaolin, with that sub.
I did have comments on the Walter West joint.
Oh yeah.
And I call it the Walter West joint because he fucking ate y'all. And when I heard that song initially, She Gonna Give Me Top until she dislocated her kneecaps.
Woo!
It was fucking hard. Bangs in the whip, fucking crazy.
Yes.
So yeah, that's pretty much he ate y'all. Like I know I say that to like Redacted a lot when he posts his songs, but I mean you picked him for that reason because you know that he's gonna fucking go crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean ultimately I knew I wasn't gonna be the best on that, but that was almost like a dream team thing of that. Like I just needed to see both of them on the same song, you know. And he definitely snapped. I mean, he's my top one. So yeah, I definitely agree with you. And as for this song, woo, what a fun little ride that verse was, and we got some more coming up. I really had some fun with this restrained flow of da-ba-da-da-ba-da-do. Hey, like, you know, we all know it, and it's easy and it's relaxed. But I mean, it was time for me to kind of just get comfortable with it and try to say as much as I could with that, which is a good. I mean, it's not a challenge, but it's a challenge. So that was fun. And notably here, you know, Rap Game Takashi Murakami, Virgil Abloh on the shoes. We already know what it is. You thought I'm still attached just because one album, you were the muse? Damn. That's, of course, a reference to the fact that Artificial EP Volume 2 was very much inspired by Shawty, but I did not want her to get the wrong impression and think that I was going to get caught up forever. We're moving on. We're throwing fits. Next up, we got Robbie J making his return. I think the last time we saw him was on Bliss Plus Blunder.
Bliss Plus Blunder.
That's right. So he comes back in. Woo! Drink. Right? 4LX beats. I mean, he's right there. She's from the Danby. Got on my teeth.
That's right.
Nigga, that line is insane. Oh my god, it's not even bars, but it's just concept. Woo! Yeah. I need a can of the breeze.
I need a girl from the sins. I need a girl with some sins. I need a girl with some bands. No nigga, you know my mans. I'm ballin' like Kevin Durant. Cause nigga, there's no chance. Niggas know I am the champ. Y'all niggas dressing so champ.
Niggas is lit like a lamp.
Nigga, we lit like a lamp. Nigga, we lit like
Let's go, Cass.
I let that chopper go bang.
Dang!
I let the choppers exchange.
Pow pow!
Yeah, you always by the lane shit. Bitch, I'm always on the lane shit. Yeah, I'm always with my gang, bitch. Yeah, I'm always with the gang, bitch. No, my chopper hot, that probably pop. Fucking on your double pride. Drop your block.
I love that you're talking.
Let's go!
Aye. The crew? Singing future with the wall. Aye. Woo!
Bitch, I've been moving across 8 states. You're trying to be picking up on the basement. And now I'm ripping like a fucking P90. And now I got my fucking city behind me. My homies are really trying to get it. Only moving forward, I never rewinding. Bulletproof in the booth. Me and Cosme got the moves. And I'm vibing with the juice. Diving in the soup. I'm just trying to get a clue. True. This and riding with the gang. And I'm hot with the flames. Never fun about the fame.
Yo!
Dip in the swerving up in the suburban neck.
Always be nervous whenever around me. It's like they wanna talk about me. I've been late to almost everything. It's like I'm even late up on a downbeat.
Yes!
Music with my homies, but you ain't even fucking know me. So get the fuck up off the stage. You talking like a fake ass motherfucking OG. Posted up with my Shinobi.
Yes!
Call me and Dax in the Rover. Bitch, I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi. I force push it, bounce that bitch right off the shoulder and into a boulder. Us kids are the coldest. I've been here for years and it didn't get older, but sipping the Folger is getting me going. I'm switching the mode and the drift and it's over.
Now,
Let's
let
go.
me like voice some complaints I have with this song.
Okay, go ahead.
Overall, I think it's good, but you just set the last guy up for failure, dog.
You think so?
Yeah.
Dude, Kez ate that hoe.
Yeah.
Because
Kez
Kez's energy is insane. Yes.
Yeah, his energy was fucking insane. That when it changed to that guy, I was like, he should have been right after you, or
Okay.
him first, then you, and then Rob, and then Kez, and it would have been perfect.
That's a perfect critique because ultimately, what you just suggested, that lineup is like a scale up in energy, right? Like a ramp up in energy.
Yeah. But then it just ends on like the highest peak of energy, and that's just the one like complaint I had. Otherwise, the verses were solid. It's just that you went from like a nuclear bomb to like a firecracker.
Okay. No, I hear you. BZAR, you want to get your word in?
Yeah. Who's the Rob guy?
That's a personal friend. Went to school with him.
And why is he not on any other tracks?
He don't be recording. He's like, he barely raps.
He's got the fucking voice for it. Like, he may not
Right?
have had the best bars or anything, but that energy's still there. And, like, when he did so what did I get, nigga? Go to my teeth. Like, I was like, that's right, because it's like ASAP Ferg-ish. But I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, and Kez Snap, he's a fucking monster. And yeah, I agree with Camo. Go ahead.
Cool. Yee nah totes my goats. I barely work with him because he's barely working. And this is honestly a big notable moment for him. I mean, I'm glad I got him back for this project. I remember being at T-Mobile in the bathroom, like I wasn't even on break. Like he sent me a reference. It wasn't even mixed right. And like I went to the bathroom and I just played it to my ear. And nigga, please imagine me jumping up and down in this bathroom to nigga, what did I get? Nigga, gold on my teeth. Like just like, what is this nigga doing? Lit like a lamp. Like I loved it. Yes, Kez snapped as well. And I think it's interesting that you bring up the kind of like contrast between him and Trey. With Trey, I like his verse a lot too. Big fan of it. I even like the reference to Post It Up with my Shinobis. He was on Jutsu with me back in AVR, so that was an interesting callback. Yeah, I mean, I had not considered that energy thing. I mean, it didn't really seem like something I should have done, but I mean, in hindsight, maybe that would have improved the song. But I thought he snapped in his own way. Probably should have done what Camo said in terms of that different lineup order. But Yee, I love the gang. shout out to the gang. We all got a gang. Everybody, you know, love for the gang always.
I'm gonna start changing clothes. I gotta go somewhere in a few minutes.
There's a little cameo coming up. Yeah.
Let's see what this boy wants.
That's Red. The Shift coming up next.
Bye.
Let's go.
I'm over here getting Twitter likes and Korean Twitter models, giving them suggestions of where they should change their hair color to.
That boy.
Woo! Still so gotta shift. Put a new riff. No one's speaking for me. Just my music only. Mama told me, don't forget that my life's only pause. Man, I'll dodge what I want. Boss or from God, feel lost. God, left friends, her gay cause. Dropping quick, no nod. 8th grade, stopped being his friend because he was gay. 2 years later, called him to tell him that ain't okay. Pause, learn the lesson. Same name, uncle that I only met on that day. With life goes, I don't know my preference. You give validation,
don't worry.
Not relevant. Kept y'all guessing, but the message with the stressing. Blessed shifts present, and I confess it.
Okay. So this one's called This Shift. Sameness has to be shifted. With the focus being that there's moments in your life that change things sort of like forever, I guess. One moment I mentioned here is this discussion with my mom about my life is only God's. So what's it going to be, right? Am I going to dodge that notion? Am I going to do what I want? Should I be the boss? Or rather, should he be the boss? Or should I feel lost from God? You know, like hella separated. So that was an interesting thing. And then I left my friends hurt with a real incident back in the 8th grade where well, did that happen in 8th grade or it might have been later, but basically I had this friend, shout out to Christian, who I'm definitely on good terms with now.
Was he gay?
Well, turns out he was. The idea being that back in the day in middle school, I thought shout out to BZAR in the comments or in the chat. Basically, I was friends with him and another like male friend of ours, and like it was weird. We had a close camaraderie and all, and like something that we often like did together was like gush about like femme celebrities, right? Like I remember this girl Megan Fox shook our world up, like with Transformers coming out. We were like, who is this woman? Women can look that hot? I didn't know that. And we would gush about her. And when it finally came out sometime later that my friend was gay, I was like, yo, impossible, there's no way. And he's like, yeah, no, totally. I mean, you know, I was doing whatever I did to fit in and all that, but I mean, this is just who I am, man. And I kind of wasn't willing to accept it. And it's funny because that kind of ties into the last shift in my life about the God thing. And that, of course, I had my religious reasons for, you know, kind of like not accepting it. But not that I didn't feel justified either way, because eventually 2 years later, I had to hit him up to tell him that what I did wasn't right. That, you know, I lost that friend, you know, inevitably, you know, we don't talk like before. Because of that dumb shit. So I had to apologize. I had to learn from my wrongs. And then lastly, I remark about an uncle I had who has the same name, so same named uncle that I only met on his deathbed. So just kind of attesting to the fact that like I got to meet him and that was crazy, but I met him on his last few breaths. Which is like it got me really thinking about family a little different. So these are 3 events that sort of shifted aspects of my perspective, I guess. So yeah, the concept continues with This Shift.
Y'all guessing, but the message with the stressing, blessed shifts present, and I confess it.
Hey,
I got the shift. Hitting the switch. Zero assist. For better or worse. Is it legit? The legend of man. Things have been dead.
been on my shit. I got the shit.
Holding the shit.
Let's go.
I got the shit. Holding the shit. I got the shit. Holding the shit. I got the shit. Holding the shit. Got up out of their house and won a war. Now a knock scored Lord. Your music to present more. What do you rhyme for? My prime sword for features of psych war. It's finding hunting good, but I'm prime for. Guess I've been there good with the conscience. But I remain on that nonsense. These bodies don't want this. Music that's mechanical. No, get it poppin'. Any artist will pop in. Start with the jock in. My childhood friends went out to play. And none of us realized it would be the last day. Cause we grew up, I guess. I truly a test. I'm losing my chest. Finding suicide. I ain't knew about his death. Cause things changed. I was born with a rip rolling cutter. Now I go through what I got into and glowing color. Between what it was and what I am, there is a rip. It's 001, it is what it is. Call it the shift on guard. Hey,
Okay, I love how I ended that verse, by the way. Loving the energy on that. Yeah, there's two shifts on this one that are noted. This one, I think anybody can relate to, because it's pretty, like, general, that we all had that day, especially if you had, like, a neighborhood of friends where you guys would go out to play often. We all had that day where, maybe your friends called to, like, hey, yo, we're going to be outside, we're going to be doing whatever the hell. And that was the last time you actually heeded that call to go out and just, shoot the shit at the woods or, like, go play ball somewhere or whatever the hell. Because your interest started shifting, maybe some time before that, and that was just the last day that would be allowed, because by the next time there would be a call, you just weren't interested enough, or at least to the same degree. Yeah, that's kind of crazy, because it's indicative of childhood ending, right? A shift in that immaturity. And then lastly, this shift mentioned about my good friend Ronnie from high school, and the fact that I was so late in finding out about his suicide. I wasn't privy to it. Funny enough, he's actually part of the reason why I went to Seattle, Washington, because back in high school we were part of a game development competition by Microsoft called Imagine Cup, and we placed nationals. So they flew us out to the Microsoft HQ or whatever the hell, I don't know, something out there, to continue competing, right? To possibly go at the international level. We went out there. It was a great time. It was an experience. I got really close with my other two friends as well, and our teacher for that specific class. But yeah, it turned out that the dude who was the comedian of our group, right? The dude who was our class clown turned out to be the most afflicted, which is what ultimately caught me off guard. So, that was another shift in perspective. And for those wondering, yes, there are many Mega Man bars trickled throughout this verse, including the 001, because Mega Man's that series, that model. Because of the sample, Mega Man-ish, and of course we got Mega Ran after the beat flip, so let's keep it going, I guess.
Hitting the switch. Zero assist. For better or worse.
For better or worse.
Is it legit? The legend of man. Things have been dead. Been on my shit.
Been on my.
I got the shit.
Yeah, hey.
Holding the shit. I got the shit. Holding the shit. I got the shit. Holding the shit. I got the shit. Holding the.
You are still a beast. I cannot acknowledge you as a true warrior.
Let's go.
That's the problems with my dad up. Told me life was too short to be sad, bruh. If it wasn't for bad luck, I probably wouldn't have luck. Speeding like initial D up in the streets, eventually got backed up, put it in reverse. Can't afford a therapist, I put it in the verse. Killing with kindness, I'd rather put them in the hearse. Could have been worse, I have a foot up in the dirt, cause I've been putting in this work every year. The Everybody tell me this the year.
This is a beast-ass beat.
Best friend disappears. I've been a monster at every single concert. No sponsors, everything a new convert. Made a promise to make that grip. Passport in hand, I'ma take that trip. Top 5 nigga gotta make that list. And if not, somebody gotta make me that shit.
That last bit there, shout out to Mega Ran, of course, with that introspective verse about his father, and of course his career and all that. Super happy that I got a Mega Ran feature for personal reasons. Definitely like made my day, made my album. But this outro here, I followed Mac because he really knew the way. I'm trying to love my friends on the day-to-day. That's Mac Miller. And it's because around that time we learned about his passing. And shout out to Pace of Pete and chat with the Chickapees. Yeah, Mac Miller had recently passed away, and I had to I was shook, and that was like another shift for me because I was a big fan of his music, or a decent fan of his music, and it's actually a reference this because he really knew the way. I'm trying to pull it up here, but in his song Programs, let's see if I don't know what my browser's being so slow with this. I'm about to take a little look. Follow me, I know the way is the reference that I'm connecting here. And yeah, ultimately what these shifts remind me, especially with my mans Christian and Ronnie passing away, is that I'm trying to love my friends on the day-to-day. So yeah. Any thoughts before we go into kind of like the interlude of the project, The Audacity?
Yeah, the song with one of the most clouded niggas is actually one of the least played on the project. I found that.
Yes, Mega Ran, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe just because a lot of the people in the community, our community, just don't know.
It's not a song for them. Yeah, no, ultimately, right? Or rather, the feature isn't for them.
Yeah, it's more of a for youth thing.
Exactly. So, that's that. Next up, shout out to Cool Roy in the chat. What's up, BZAR?
I'm going to take note of that because I do want to comment on the whole album once this is done.
For sure.
But yeah, the whole...
Keep that pin, basically.
For everyone, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Write that down.
Oh, and I also wanted to say, while I enjoy this song, believe me, I know this song is in the same bucket as, like, if you remember Aureen, on Aureen we had that song... Chiaroscuro. I feel like it's similar in the approach in that, like, ultimately, if you thought the song wasn't too musical, it's because it falls victim to me having a lot to say, and my unskilled ass wasn't amazing at marrying message with music. That's something that I got better at. I think the song is way better than Chiaroscuro when it comes to that, and in general. But yeah, that's that. Also with the hook, not a major regret because I think it's alright, but it's sort of plain. And I would have done something to sell the same idea, but better, I think. But yeah, that's where we're at with the shift. Next up, The Audacity, produced by Archer. Big moment. Interlude, kind of really peeling back the layer on why the hell David is so mad. Concerning his ex. I just realized the red roses really matches Archer's aesthetic.
Yeah, red roses, white seal.
I'm in the...
Could never marry you. No. Did it with any who. Shorty like Betty Boo.
Woo!
She went that Bentley coupe.
Yeah.
They got me 72. Girl, I'm a scary dude. Be with the teddy dude. Be with the teddy do. To tell the truth, I had a flex cause I barely do. I had a snap of the visuals because they pay me to.
That's no cap.
They call me 72.
That's right.
But it's primarily rude. He with the teddy do. He with the teddy do. You when you get out my mentions. Doctor Strange, I flex dimensions. Low frisk code, I'm ambidextrous. Stay 100 like I got the med kit. Y'all sick more than a sorority trip in Miami. Don't dumb me up if your hands they ain't clammy. Team feature paradise, we be the family. Feeling like pain, so they done this.
Let's go. Oh my god, I love that part. Obviously they call me 72, 72nd brother, the center brigade. That'd be your boy right here. Yee, love how cheesy these last bars are, and even with the big, almost tweet-esque line of "y'all suck more than a sorority trip to Miami." I mean, yeah, I'm just very proud of all the sentiments there. Just being very rude, having the audacity to say some stuff. Shout out to Paradise Records, Tenma Da Boy. That's Astro if you don't know. We be the family, and I feel that peso because they don't understand me is the reference. If you don't get it, grow up, catch up, listen to the discography. Peso Peter review coming sometime. I don't know. We gotta talk to that nigga and see what's good. Anyway, next up we got Archer and Jaywalk on the Discord call. Hello.
If your hands they ain't clammy, feature paradise, we be the family. Feeling like peso, they done this.
You heard Dax's new project yet?
Nah, I ain't even know y'all one coming out.
Yeah, bro, it's the tape.
Dang, what's it called? I'm finna look it up on Amazon Music right now.
Actually, that's what. Wait, hold the. Amazon Music, my nigga? Like, what do you want? Who the fuck uses Amazon Music?
Bro, leave me alone.
It's called The Tape.
I mean, I get that it's not like an EP or an LP or whatever, but what's the tape called?
Listen here, you Amazon Music little bitch. It's called The Tape.
He doesn't get it.
I don't get it.
Ooh, Kendall Jenner in that skirt. Cross her legs, she did the work. Call of Duty, got the perk. Call of Duty, got that. DMB, I'm finna Kirk. On my mother, go berserk. Shorty put up on her skirt. How to pull up on that skirt. I get you lit when you listen. Bump in the whip when you listen. Team picture, we on a mission. Course they're not perfect, I'm Christian. They call me 72. Girl, I'm a scary dude. Peep with the teddy dude. Peep with the teddy dude.
I could never
marry you. Xfinity on the list, that's no connection. You never wanted my whole affection. Could never marry you. Wanted to be more than your fourth selection for depression. I'm throw like Cordyceps. All the boys are guessing. It's an important lesson. We can't afford attention.
That's right.
I go in more aggressive. You swords me on there. Imported weapons for defenses. More to set coordinates. And I forgot what normal is.
Let's go.
Over here, shit, meat shit. Actually, investors stop pulling that meat shit. Stop responding with the meat shit. Can't leave me in pieces. Killed all weakness. We'll never repeat this. I'm the Gold Ranger, bitch. You can't defeat this. Can't sneak this. Only when you're needy is when I see screen slit. This isn't a secret. I forget the reason you started acting like someone new. I remember being too nervous to eat in front of you. I'll just keep on pushing till DAX has traveled from London to wanting to produce it through multitudes of W. I'm just a fucking lame. I'm such a brat that can't be told no twice in the same day.
Entitled baby.
Thinking shit like this would never change. I took too long like Kristen's song. I let you get away and I don't know who myself is. I could hear them saying that I started acting selfish. Doing what I want, somehow men acted like my selfless. Said I wouldn't have got tatted if I was more selfless. Imagine doing that, I'd be myself-ish.
Oh my god. Wow. That's just like, if I brought tea, I just spilled it all. But yeah.
I have a comment.
Yeah, dale.
This nigga said that he was pulling on his mom's skirt.
I was pulling on my mom's skirt?
Yeah, bro. You said, where is it? Right before the list and shit. Yeah, on my mom, I go berserk, lifting up her skirt.
No, Shawty pulled up on her skirt.
Yeah, your mom pulled up her skirt. That's... It's a
nah.
joke. Anyways. Yeah.
Nah. That's on my mom.
Yeah, if you don't understand slang, on my mother, go berserk. It just reads as, I went berserk on my mom, and she pulled up her skirt.
Damn, we were having a decent time. Goddamn.
Yeah, no cap.
But of course, I'm not perfect. I'm Christian.
Yeah.
But, Dang. So what's being revealed here is that basically I'm over here flexing. I'm over here at the move, at the fun shit, this and that.
Up to something.
Up to something. Because ultimately I'm trying to distract myself from the fact that there's a shorty that I could never marry. There's a shorty that has taught me an important lesson. A girl that has me sort of in some sort of turmoil here. Over here shit means shit. I'm actually invested. So stop pulling that mean shit. Start responding with that meme shit. I mean, we all know that conversation when eventually it gets so dry that all you got is, check out this post. Only when you're needy is when I see screens lit. I mean, she only be hitting me up when she needs something. When she down or when, you know, hey, yo, come get me some attention. All that. I remember being too nervous to eat in front of you. That's just legitimate. I hate first dates with food and all that because I become a wreck. A train wreck. Let's see here. I love the adjusted to multitudes of double U's, since that's been like a Sonic theme throughout that.
Sonic?
Yeah, audio, not the hedgehog. Here we have a part where I kind of concede, and I let people know, look, if I sound like a big baby, if I sound bitter as hell talking about all this, honestly, I kind of know what you're talking about. And I concede and I say I'm just a fucking lame. I'm a brat. An entitled baby. Ultimately, it's my fault. I took too long. And it says here, like, Christian's song, I let you get away and I don't know who myself is. Really quickly, I can get into that. Basically, the shorty in question, I remember one time I was listening to this guy, Christian Grey, and one of his songs called... we'll find out in a bit because it's on a specific album. School of Roses. Vanish. I was listening to it and, you know, she heard the song as well. And we were enjoying it. And I brought it up later on in one of our arguments, I guess, or one of our deep conversations. And I let her know, honestly, the way I feel about us is how I feel about this song. Like the hook says, but if I wait too long, you just may be gone forever. And I can't leave you here. We gonna disappear together. So yeah, basically that. Ultimately, it's my fault. I waited too long, and that's why she's not around, because I had a good thing, possibly, and I didn't act on it. So I might be bitter that, you know, she moved on, but I mean, it's up to me to move on now because ultimately it was my fault. And I love this last 4-bar because of the flip on selfish, selfless, selfless, and selfish, all meaning something else. But I don't know if there's any other remarks. Obviously, one of the least musical ones, but you know, some fun in the energy, and of course that funny-ish skit with Archer and Jaywalk. I love that they did that. It really pokes fun at the fact that the tape is called what it is, right? Like, honestly, what the hell is the concept for this one, Dax? And, you know, they don't even explain it, but they poke fun at the fact that it is not immediately obvious. So, yay. Next up, we got The Cypher. An homage to community things. You know, the community ritual. Something seldom done today, but it's how I got my start. So I had to make it happen. One time for the one time. And here we go.
I never quit under the pressure, depression, a bad hand stacked with traitors who just question your methods and pass it off as entertainment. To put it in layman's, I paid attention to your statement.
The statement.
Pillow talking your weakness every second, spent complaining, beaming up all my emphasis and superficial deference. I wholeheartedly ate it, silently made my changes from broke bridges to pavement. Eat it all in my crap with no stress up in my cadence. I ain't got a lot of time, so let me be brief. I'm in this bitch, just a handout cartridges a relief. And then I move up to Wednesday, go start selling CDs. And it ain't worth, but them niggas kept
Jeez.
You might be a Methodist actor in social experiments, but don't take a chance with the rapper who actually eat beats like candy, including the rapper, excluding the little corrupted past.
Let's go!
Bring it back to when I lived by the farm with the tractors and men with crimson necks hated me cause I was black, but I still persevered. News to bring the truth, you knew some cutting loose as far as the truth.
You heard it here.
Reppin' Haven City comes young Jack and
Daxter.
Raps Armageddon, we're the precursor rap. Big ups to those before me in the flame spitters app. But while gods roam the plains, there is only one mass. What they claimed was your future is a thing of my past. You're just a rap extra, I'm the head of the cast. Your career's a balloon bound to pop over gas. This turtle is done waiting, I'm knocking heads at last.
Go y'all, baby, baby. Got my mind going crazy, super thick. How she always on the gun, baby. She make it work, make that motherfucker shine, baby. She got a brain with the bread, and she fine.
Woo!
Make that money talk, listen, go berserk.
Hold up.
Stupid paid, man's busting out the shirt.
Hold up.
Hurricane with the rain.
City surf.
Aye, homie, we seeing that we been this way since the relapse. No reason for us to recap. We really trying.
As BZAR says, who?
You all by 3 laps. I'm waiting for all your feedback. SMG will make you lean back. Having yourself a deep nap. I ain't trying to control ya. I'm rapping with my controllers. I'm about to go use my ultra. Blast that supernova. Hold up, now hold up. I had to kill a verse.
Stable.
Second born, but I'm Nightwing first, nigga.
Back at it once again. Twin of shots of a twisted beam. Seeing different waters in a different stream. Waking up to know it was just a dream. Yeah, just a dream. Got cuts, no low sustain. Feeling frustrated, I'ma grab the lane. Deal with fraud, better get it stream. No cool for the price, best believe. Turn mic over, wait to see. Coming out with burnt ashes. Way to go, just fruit, back flashes. Seeing fights back, just brought lashes. Fighting every day, no acting. Real
Lay, Team Fuge.
More fun, less track.
Running laps around all of these rappers, Gran Turismo. Flow go dumb like Stooges Mo. All about the paper flow. You paperweight, you feathers, whoa. Flying like I'm Mario. People talking big jokes. They don't want that real smoke from Future. They exhaling vapor smoke. Vaporeon, this is no Splatoon. But bet I really slot your hoe. Tearing masks off of all these wannabes. They Ichigo. Damage done is critical. And no
Let's go.
And Blizzard Shorty wants in on my Apple Music family plan. Poison for me, just asking how I got so many fans. You haters look at my iPhone X while your cat's in his hand. Go get who? Well, dog, go get actually your mans. Keep it a stack, in fact, you lag like half of these bands. Well, Peter Pan, I'll never land. No gravity can, the gasoline man. Spit acid, eat and
My chick's a Barbie on the Barbie.
yours a raggedy and down.
Swag is extravagant.
Uh-huh.
The whip is lavish. The bitch and passenger better than anything you'd imagine. I'm done with rapping, but Dax hit me like, nigga, what's happening? So fuck it. Astro just had to jump in his bag again. It's over for him, no open for him. I'm getting vocal calls from your bitch watching.
Overlord.
I ain't local boy. I got artists from Georgia, Bahama, Florida, and you ain't got the border.
Open a forum on tour.
Flooring the foreign, dripped and bespoke you can't afford. Hard to ignore. Got something hard for get
Jaw, baby. Not super intelligible there at the end, but long story short, what I was saying is that this is like the story of an argument where she was right. You lost, and you found out she was right. And yeah, all right, cool, you're right. I'll move on. So, just kind of remarking on, you know, whatever you might imagine I was remarking on. But yeah, that was the cipher. Again, not really super duper like radio, even though, I mean, I love that the beat almost like tries to compensate for that, and that it's a very fun beat. But yeah, like I said here, it's an ode to the community, which I think is very fun. I think the people of the community enjoyed that. And of course, I brought back my man Stable, who, of course, if you were here for the Future Fantasy review, you know that he was supposed to be on a cipher that nobody showed up for, so he ended up being on a song for Future Fantasy that was just him and I, which was hilarious, and in hindsight, or even at the time, I realized that was hilarious. I love my verse on this. I mean, very, very laid back and like saying everything pretty much every time. I love that Twitter ass, like Instagram caption ass line of your shorty wants in on my Apple Music family plan. Let me see. Also love the Gasoline Man, spit acid heat, and my chick's a Barbie on the Barbie. Yours is a Raggedy Ann, of course. Barbie doll, Barbie like the Australian barbecue slang, and Raggedy Ann being, a very unsexualized doll, I guess, by some other comparisons. But that's
what
that.
You talking about, man? That be
Raggedy Ann? That's for you?
Yeah.
That's your girl?
Yeah, that's my type beat. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Goddamn Raggedy Ann with the dreadlock.
Okay. Any remarks on that? I know you probably hate that.
Oh, I've been taking notes. I have a lot to say about the album. I'm just gonna wait for it to be done.
Okay, but no remark on that song for now.
Who was the guy right before you?
Oh, Lay.
Oh shit, before Lay.
Stable.
Fuck, before Stable.
The nigga that I was like BZAR says, that's right. Oh my god, what a setup.
I fucked it up though, god damn it.
No, that was good. Because you made me wait for it. So that was funny as hell. But like if you had said who was the guy before Stable, I would have been like but you made me like actually work. Hilarious. You gotta love it. Next up, we got yet another Bermunity feature, which
actually, I do have. Sorry, I do have one.
Mm-hmm.
Tenma, like, when I've never met him, and I've never heard like his songs other than the features that he does for you and Peso.
Yeah.
And I was informed that he doesn't really rap anymore, but he just if someone hits him up for a verse, that person being Peso or you, he'll do some crazy shit. On this, like Tenma, like. As much as he doesn't want to be a rapper,
he snapped.
He has that swag to like his like persona, and I just love it whenever he does rap because not like there's a swag that he brings with it, and then the actual bars and shit. Like he'll say some crazy like sly shit that he'll be like
super content.
Like, how he said "bitch and passenger better than anything you'd imagine." Like nigga, like that's so hard. Like what?
Yeah.
Be a rapper, please. Like
getting vocal cord from your bitch watching Overlord. I mean, we get it.
Overlord sucks.
And so does she, apparently.
Yeah, no cap. Raggedy Ann up in that bitch.
All right, stop it. But stop him on stream, okay? But
BZAR and DJ DAX, doll lovers, bro. No
that's
cap.
right. DAX, known homophobe. BZAR, known fucking
Raggedy Ann doll fucker.
Enthusiast. Yeah. So next up, we got The Wage featuring Jaquel. Let's get it. Forbidden Fruit in My Hand. Oh my god, this one has this one has a meme that's born in it. But let's get it. Exciting. Woo!
Forbidden fruit in my hand. Something with the shorty. That shorty has been the plan like. I've been early eggs in the pan like. Dirty dick is the man like. Somebody second rubber to send it, bring it to heaven like.
There it is. For those of y'all that be wondering what I be saying when I just randomly go into like a double time, it's because these niggas love to make fun of the fact that I even said this once. And honestly, I say 70-second Reverend into plenty stuff, but this is the line. 70-second Reverend ascended, bringing down heaven like, ooh. But yeah, let's run it back.
And like, dirty dick is the man like. Somebody second rubber to send it, bring it to heaven like. Once I know how to Mars. Woo! Falling back, but not at all. How to get to God at all. The wages in it, that's someone keep us in my breath like. Future is whatever's next, and we murder whoever is left in the field. Smash y'all holding y'all shield. Serving on tricks, and you were just a case.
Low too sick.
You probably will get your fade. With some Ben 10, your checks dependent. The gist has been spent, so just pay up as a wage.
Woo! Been on my
This year hits a guy bun Kai ramen neck. That's nice, but that ice give you frostbite. So I stay with the fur coat. Fuck, Peter, my feet up. Don't give a fuck. Drinking sangria. The way that Step out the butcher so I can be short. Shawty won't fuck with me. She
call me Kiki.
But I got no love for things. Jugging on these motherfuckers, I'ma make a monster. I'm feeling like a mom. Sneak up on my collar, Gucci be on my buckle. White skinny jeans, I'm feeling like I'm a model. I don't really care
for rebuttals.
Sneak up on your bitch and I fuck it and then we cuddle. But it's gonna be some repercussion. We discussing who the real nigga here, boy. That's me.
That's me and Dax. That's right. Love this hook.
Conduit of the cosmos, my story, never mind the plot hole. You pulling up in the Tahoe, thinking that you hard though. You not the man, bro, you not macho. Play the news, gotta pay my dues. Home mic with the wrist feel like Jack Hill. Days confused, days in tune. Deja vu, did I did this before?
Pete.
Cautious about what the drama means. Nauseous, I need some drama. Mean often thought what I ought to be. Postulated all parts of me.
What the?
My wages, I paid the toll. The legend foretold of old. It's 316's 2.0. That gospel that they don't know. All yellow oxen free. Olive skin, Betty eyes, olive green. Eating olive G. Give her all of me. Get the oddities. This is on to me now.
All right. Oh my God. Shout out to Jaquel for bringing that energy there. Not done with the song, obviously, but already something I wanted to talk about. I mean, in hindsight, or in retrospect here, reviewing everything here, yeah, there's light biblical, like, theming. The song isn't really about anything necessarily biblical, but it's about kind of paying for the sins you've done. Because, of course, after the audacity, there's a realization of, nigga, I messed up, okay? So I'm playing with that idea of getting what you deserve. So yeah, just pay up. It's the wage. You know, the wages of sin are death is something that you can find in the Bible. Of course, Jaquel bringing that energy there, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, this last line here of olive oxen free, olive skin, batty eyes, olive green, eating olive G. Give her all of me, get the oddities that she's on to me now. A reference... Of course, the shorty in question, olive green eyes, and on Artificial 1, you can actually see that olive G connection, because I say, run away, I just want to escape Olive Garden, you on flip side of the table, best date. The idea being that, yeah, whoever I was talking about then is the shorty I'm talking about now, still kind of giving me conflict, and honestly, she's on to me. She understands what's going on, so... I'm gonna get what I deserve. So yeah, let's close this out here with some more rage.
I have comments.
Oh yeah, dale.
Shout out to Jaquel for bringing that energy.
Yeah.
Yes. And shout out to you for not upholding it.
Yeah.
Because it was a weird switch when he started yelling and then you went back to just
rap.
Yeah, rap. I was like, like, you know, of course it's a different feel. It works for some people. For me, I felt like personally, I would have liked you to step it up too.
To match it.
Because once he already went there, like, I feel like there's no going back. But you went back.
Mm-hmm. There's definitely a decent argument to be made there that it should have been kept up. Personally,
at least a little bit longer, you know.
I will say this, and it doesn't mean everything because honestly, a project file is a project file. What's it called? And it can always be messed with before the song is out. But the way the production of the song went, I sent him an open with my verse already like that. So if anything, he yelled even though I did that. So it was like, I like that he did that. I'm not going to tell him to not do that. But honestly, the bigger brain play would have been to match him, of course. Yeah. But yeah, no. Very salient point there. Let's close this up. This nigga don't know a lick of English, apparently.
No, I do not.
Tertiary. And yeah, we're going to find a little cameo here at the end, too, and bring him back some vocals. Since the Genesis. Forbidden fruit in my hand. Don't get. Yeah, so that's The Wage. And it ends with a little cameo there by Bethuel, who actually gave lines that are kind of from the perspective of the lady, with, you know, saying stuff like, you know, that calling myself out for following every model known to man on Instagram, but I can't acknowledge, you know, anything on her birthday, concerning her birthday, on her birthday, to her birthday party, blah, blah, blah. Insert that meme. But, Yee, sort of calling myself out there and, like, really nailing that. I mean, the wage is here because that was the sin, right? That's the thing that I'm sort of paying for, which is very defeatist, but, I mean, I love it. And I love his delivery on that sort of matches what Jaquel left us with, too. So yeah, very, very fun stuff. You know, if I were to sort of like pivot randomly, BZAR, what would you say is like how you felt about Darling in the Franxx?
Darling in the which one? Like the show?
Yeah, actually, don't say anything.
Hopefully you will listen to this one.
Oh,
I agree, and I also agree even more.
Wait, before pause. You started over, but I do have something to say about the wave.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just now realizing something that, like, you know, I feel like a lot of these toxic men don't get about their relationships,
Mm-hmm.
which because I feel it too now. It just took me a while.
Yes.
Probably around the age where you were. But you know, a lot of the shit that goes wrong with these relationships with a significant other could be your fault. Like,
Yeah.
you don't really realize it until you actually sit down and fucking think about it for a minute. And so I didn't even know that, like, you felt that way about that person.
Yeah.
That you have, and it's crazy because, like, I've listened to the tape. I've known you for this long. So, but I didn't even know that you felt that way, where you were like, or that you even did that shit that Bethuel went over.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know, I don't even acknowledge you on your birthday type. You said that was from your perspective, right?
That's from her perspective, complaining about me.
Ah, John.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it pretty fucked up a little bit. So yeah, I wanted to point that out because even though that's been like the whole premise, I just want to go ahead and bring that up again, just so niggas get it, you know?
Totally. And I mean, that's something that kind of gets kicked off by the audacity, the idea of, like, you know, I'm angry. Look at all these songs about how angry I am. Girl, all this energy. And then on the audacity, it's like, maybe I should calm down. Because honestly, yeah, because maybe I was the one that kind of did it to myself. I said, watch this.
Pretty much.
And yeah, I mean, there are more songs that explore that as we go on, with The Wage, and I think The Prayer really speaks on that some more. But yeah, ultimately, no, you're right. You hit the nail on the head, and that's how that works. Next up, The Exchange. Let's get it.
Hopefully you will listen to this one. I agree, and I also agree even more.
Oh, it should be.
The reason why I liked it is because I have not seen Evangelion or Gurren Lagann. So, I mean, that was my first, like, mecha fucking robot bullshit anime. So, I mean, that's why I liked it initially. But I do agree with all that shit. Like, fucking, dude, the ending was ass, all this, man. It's just, yeah, all around, probably a 5. I think I have it as a 5 on my anime list.
Let's go.
Darling fucking sucks.
So if you were here yesterday for the Darling in review, now you have proof that that's really how our main man BZAR felt about that.
And he didn't get my permission to put this on the fucking album, but whatever.
Let's go.
How you gonna solve this one? Yo. You think you're the man right now. Grand Prix in the lead. Star in my hand right now. 200cc, but flying like ET. No matching my peak speed, cause I ran right now. Told you on AVR, haters can't pipe down. No Mario, it started, you're like, damn, lights out.
I mean, it's worth highlighting. That wasn't for no reason. If we go to AVR, I feel like I'm in church. I'm like, if you turn to the book of...
Yeah, Deuteronomy or whatever the hell.
Deuteronomy. They won't do Neuronomy the way to God.
Yeah, I'm with a bitch. She won't do Neuronomy.
So, like I said here, told you on AVR, haters can pipe down. No Mario, it started like damn, lights out. So I'm gonna reveal it to you quick like a chicken in a nightgown. Haters need a shush. Mario, tell them to pipe down. Yeah. So that's why I said told you on AVR.
Lines every bar can understand quite how I do it so fluid so they demand my style. Exchange of powers, don't need your exposure. Music for the dead, yes, sound like decomposer.
Bars.
Range and cowards, it's exchange for net flame set plays. Sometimes you rappers better to scouters. No one better on our the reign's really over. Everything is a Broward, pays like a mediocre. Persona 5, I'm the Joker. Keep it steady on polar. Spit only the solar, your very own from October.
OVO, October's very own, your very own from October.
Persona 5, I'm the Joker. Keep it steady on polar.
Because I was born October 26th.
Very own from October.
Lube.
Only been rapping for about 2 years. Funny how I'm shitting on these niggas whole career. Only way you pass me is if I'm drunk off the bed. So my vision isn't clear. Making U-turns while I steer. All your niggas fucking trash. Make your ass disappear. Finna pull up with a mask and a bat and a fear. With my game, take your head off as a damn souvenir. Think the kings and the gods city still kick them peer. Hey, flow so dumb, mid assassin. I'm mad eyes, mad ties. If you got a problem, I got mad time, cash time. I have let them live for the last time. Spit a verse, that's a hearse. Make a nigga flatline. Murder is my pastime. Killed him with the last line. So I brought him back to life just to give him a bad time. Exchange of power. Most of them can't stand mine. Live with your show from DAX. Keep blowing up like a landmine, bitch.
Snap with that last line for show. Also, spoilers. What do you mean, Shofu, nigga? We haven't heard him yet. Yeah, no, I love what he did. I love what I did. I think our verses are very competent. This song is about the exchange of powers. Meaning, and I mean, you hear it in the hook. Ain't forever at the top. Power's always gonna swap. Killed it. Now things ain't the same. So just watch for the exchange. And that goes for anybody. Anybody susceptible. What I'm speaking about is that you may be at the top right now, but that ain't forever. Because there's always that exchange. It's constant. It's always going on. And when it comes for you, you're gonna get swapped either up or down. So you know, I speak about that. About how. I mean, I speak from the perspective of not needing their exposure, because where I'm speaking from is someone who isn't, you know, necessarily at the top. So, like, it's almost like, you know, y'all at the top, but y'all done. Like, wrap it up, then, because, you know, y'all have been there for some time. But what you need to realize is there's an exchange pending, and Louvre does that too. Speaking on that for sure. But something I wanted to do to kind of nail that concept is to get somebody who I felt was relatively more on top than I was or am, to kind of bring that all home and like wrap it up in a bow of like, you know, hey, I'm not at the top, watch out. Hey, I'm not at the top either, watch out. And then, nigga, I'm at the top, y'all stay put or something. You know, or just, you know, kind of giving testament to what it is to be up there. So yeah, you'll see me kind of set that up even more as we go into the bridge in a segundo. Shout out to Omar on the field. Here we go.
The exchange is real, no movie. No, my cuts came to kill. Go Bruce Lee. Punches with the same appeal, the same ordeal. In case you rappers play the deal. David, you ain't it. Can play with these fools so I won't entertain it. And flip gravity, now my haters have fainted. The picture I've painted, there's one way to frame it. My rap, you can't stain it. These are the beasts you created. Who you think you playing with? All I do is flame shit. Whole lot of gang shit. Pull up with the pistol and kill you and everybody and anybody you came with. Alpha, pull out the chopper, that's Omega. Can't nobody sit in my spot, you know better. I was always mad for the top, it's no pressure. I was all the Mac in the pot, got old cheddar. Better reform. Little niggas good for nothing, keep my seat warm. Kill myself and my emotions, now I'm reborn. Walk around, you get your facial features deformed. I don't need to speak to them, that goes for anybody. Me and Dex, we catching many bodies. Pop the trunk and we got many shotties. Leave you disembodied, doesn't matter who, that goes for anybody.
Yeah. And so Shofu speaks to that. Lil niggas good for nothing. Yeah, I mean, the perspective's different. And I'm glad there's that level of substance. I think the song's fun enough for niggas that love bars. And yet there is that sort of underlying subtext to kind of catch on to. At the end, I also added in a little voice clip of me saying the tape. I know you and I haven't talked in a while. Because ultimately, if she were to listen to this would have been the first time in a long time that I even updated her on anything, on how I felt, on, you know, just where I stand. This would be the ultimate, like, communication of that. So, yeah. And to culminate the project, and I'm a wink here because I got something in mind, but to culminate the project, we got The Prayer, featuring Gen World, who was earlier on, what's it called, The Cypher. Yeah, we wrap it up with The Prayer. I try to get a little more personal, do more stuff that, you know, we heard on The Wage, more stuff that we heard on The Audacity, and, like, you know, shedding some light as to what were the things that got me to where I am now mentally. The things that kind of caused that anger, no? So I guess we're gonna get into it and see what moving on sounds like. So yeah. Shout out to Kensa. Beautiful beat. It was practically an alley-oop for this. Let's go.
Yeah, we judge each other cause we ain't to play the same. It's been a world of difference lately, I don't play the same. I know what place I'd rather be, I gotta play the game. I know what David would rather be. Yo, simple depravity, blaming it all on anatomy. Wish we see our funerals, but lie to ourselves in tragedy. Had to be honest so that the past could never shackle me.
Bar explanation here. Not that it's that crazy. We wish we'd see our funerals, but lie to ourselves in tragedies. Yeah, just the general notion of, we're all curious about who would show up, no? Like, if we were to die, like, all right, which one of you niggas is putting up a RIP post, you know, all of that. And then the next line's crazy, too, in that, had to be honest so that the past couldn't ever shackle me. Niggas be bound to their past, but they also be capping, so how not, no?
My favorite number ain't how to prove I could count on me. God in 3, gather the atoms, made matters matter me. Put me into this galaxy, place me right up on planet 3 of the solar system.
Earth.
So I'm wishing to start with challenging. Trying to find home, no batter swing. I mean, I guess sometimes friends of benefits get up in more than just a sex. Shorty's poisonous to death, and boys are always into that. But I looked in there for the one in my coordinates to set down.
Crazy.
Talked more often at long distance. Then you came close to the wrong distance. You posted the wrong pictures. I'm hoping it's all this. Things are broken, we're all fissured. Just alive, go find your peace. Don't deserve the greatness, I just owe it to myself. Ay, had to cut the ties with her, I'm watching for my health. With the Wednesday, then next day she fucked somebody else. Saturday she introduced me to her group of friends. Minimize the odds, I can't leave it up to chance. Suppressing my inner yay, been known to go on these rants. Yo, solely is holy just to remember what I want. So
yeah. So I definitely spoke about Suntan just now. Some more TMI stuff. And that Yee, we had a dynamic going. It eventually was more FWB. And I kind of remarked that, looks like sometimes you get a little bit more than what you signed on for. But that's exactly what complicates things, right? Because I looked in her for something. I looked in her for the one. At a point where she wasn't ready for that anymore. I attest to, her and I having a better connection when, funny enough, no pun intended, better connection when we only spoke like over the phone, I guess, as opposed to really being around each other in person all the time. Very specific instance. And of course the whole notion of, how she was moving on and why I had to cut my ties eventually because, I sort of owed it to myself. She was gone. Like, she was done. She was doing FWB with me, but of course with anybody else as well that, was down to clown and she was down to clown with, because that's how that arrangement worked by then. So, if I was in it for her being the one, I was wrong at this point. Like, it was time to move on. And, suppressing my inner yay, going on these rants. Shout out to Kanye West. And legitimately, Solius gave me that advice of just to remember what I want. Because, of course, during this time, BZAR can attest to this, I was talking niggas' ears up all the time about Cheyenne did this, Cheyenne did that. I mean, that's the girl in question, for all of y'all wondering. And, They all were like, yo, this story's crazy, this and that. Here's what you got to do. Here's what's effed up, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, Solius threw in his 2 cents into, to hone me in, reminding me that I need to focus on what I want, right? My intentions. So we're going to wrap up my verse here. Let's go.
Yo, Solius, holy just to remember what I want. So in music, got my guard up, Noah Vaughn. This is Sparta, Magna Carta, Will of Father, Menadharma, Lean Carter, Holy Armor, Mary Martha, the arbiter of the martyrs now. Ask that you just pray for my soul. Think you or devil keeps your quest in control. I come too far for this.
Let's go.
I can feel them pushing, trying to keep me down. I'm stuck to the bottom, got no hope around. Recognize real, and some others are found. I hope you're praying for me now, praying for me now. I've come too far for this. I've come too far for this. Yo, I've come too far for this. Yo, I've come too far for this. Yo, I've come too far.
Love the hook.
Any evil that required higher levels and better scores. This right here is with that fucking killer metal sword. Loaded safe from the car just to shoot where we been before. What the fuck you in this for?
Yeah, I cuss too much, but that's only cause I'm living more.
Demons of the rooster, we dig a little deeper, sure.
Until we creep on bleeding beaches and them dirty shores. Bitch, you better listen to what avoids us.
Blessed to all mankind, we're all dead inside.
So checks in your heart more, but
give it to the children that need more love and families that get
straight blaze, touched and torn up.
I'm speaking of hyperdark.
Yeah, I'm talking blinking in the split second, you don't even notice.
Peace in the moment, when you blind to the sky, you can't fuck up.
That's the only motive.
Keep it open, push it like a locomotive. Death smooth like a baby ass and coca lotion. Crazy, that's the line of a normal boy that's broken, hopeless. Moving me in my mind, shit. That's that focus. Mixing up a dream of the future with some hocus pocus. Whip the fucking wrist until it's thick, behold the potion. Take a swig of that and you can't move any bolder. Jen got bombs with laser cannon strapped to the shoulder. One trap, one tap, and L1 is hella over. RPG's a single player, that's what makes a better soldier.
I'm stuck to the bottom, got no hope around. Recognize real, and some others are found. I hope you're praying for me now, praying for me now. I've come too far for this. I've come too far for this. Yo, I've come too far for this. Yo, I've come too far for this. Yo, I've come too far for this. Come too far.
Yes, sir. That is the prayer, and conversely, the tape. Yeah. It's crazy. Well, for one, let me just get a negative out the way real quick. Very much split in terms of how I feel about Jen's verse, because it's very accurate to some stuff. Like, for example, the sample is from Near Automata, whatever the hell. And he does a lot of references to that, which is, I think, good. But at the same time, it does leave a bit of, a desire for, some more thematic connection to what I had said beforehand. So, there's a sort of regret there. I mean, honestly, if he was in this studio, I would have told him, hey, yo, we can edit this, we can edit that. But whatever, I ended up going with it anyway. That being said, though, love my performance on my verse. Love the hook, super sticky. Love that second half of the I've come too far for this. I can feel him pushing, trying to keep me down. I'm stuck to the bottom, gonna hop around. Recognize real, and some of those I found real. I hope you're praying for me now. So those real people, I hope they're praying for me. Because it's been a long time coming, and I've come too far, almost like to give up. Just to stop here. It's almost like a road to recovery. It's a process, and I'm trying to get to the end where we're good, where we're fine, where we've moved on. So, keep sending that energy my way. And I'm going to speak to the realization BZAR had earlier. We end the song with a poignant kind of like vocal, which I want to play one more time. And in this annotation here, the only thing I really want to touch on is what BZAR was talking about. The journey from the track list is largely a transition from I'm mad because she's wrong and I'm right to I'm mad because she's right and I'm wrong. Which is, and BZAR, that's how you know that you were right on the nose even 2 years ago when I wrote that.
Of course.
Yeah. So yeah, that's ultimately where I land. That, like, I might have been angry. That was a statement made at the beginning, but at this point, I kind of rescind. I don't want to be bitter at all for whatever had happened. That's the tape. That's the Angry Dangry DAX. There's fire in my blood and names in the mud. I believe we hear that on the transition from the cleanse. Right over here.
There's fire in the blood and names in the mud.
And that's a neat idea. So yeah, that's kind of like the spiritual tagline of this. There's fire in my blood and names in the mud. Yeah, that's the project about me, throwing a fit. I gotta rank this hoe.
I got some comments.
Yes, please. I mean, and honestly, this is the time for that, because, of course, something I've been doing for fun on the side is ranking these projects, not because they need to be ranked, but of course, because it's a fun little exercise to do to kind of think of these things critically. But Zara, what you got for me in terms of thoughts about the project?
Whole project. All right. So I'm gonna start out not talking about my notes first, but in general, the tape starts out. Everything that you wanted to get across, you get across. And like I said, I didn't even start realizing it until we were through the album. We're getting through it. I'm like, oh, okay, so I see where the shift is. I see what the message is. And it really only happened once we had this breakdown.
That's right.
Also, the songs get a little bit better as the
project goes.
As the project goes through. That's not the notes. So the notes are, I feel like this is during the Bermunity, as you say, like the Bermunity era, but the least Bermunity, as Camo pointed out yesterday. And not just because, like...
That's totally notable, yes.
Yeah. Not just because there aren't many Bermunity members on it. I mean, we are on it, but, like, not in the features. But more so because Here, let me find my notes. It's you going back to your roots, and I'll touch on that again. But I'm about to go into another one.
Yes, totally.
The message is clear, the execution is there, but it's almost too personal. The words are there, but the vibe isn't necessarily. It loses its replay value because of that. Personally, that's personally how I feel about it. But that may be biased because I don't like rapidy rap shit.
Correct.
But I mean, if I were to listen to this by myself without the you holding my hand, or me reading the lyrics, word for word, I probably wouldn't get
as much out of it.
Yeah.
I wanted to interject with something
that
actually went with what you were saying. Something here from the Genius page. The tape, for those that have followed the music since I was dominating ciphers, is, in a sense, a return to form, like you just said. As a contrast to my last effort, DAXLing and the BZANKs, I bring back hard-hitting lyricism, flow, themes, and instrumentals, all with the same competitive energy I'd give if it was a feature. So yeah, I mean, you're not too off in terms of like the vibe that you find here. It's not for everybody, it's for some, but it's not for all, right? Which is why you feel that way.
Yeah, and then I have another note, which on top of that is you really went rapidy rap too much. Reads well, but it doesn't translate well without the actual you being like.
And do you think that's a matter of performance?
I don't think it was a matter of performance. I think you were doing your Thug Dizzle, your DAX thing. It's just that I don't know, I feel like in this era around the time you were making songs that were they were DAX, but you were also creating vibes. And that, to me, personally, is just more important. And you can talk to Pete about this too, because we talked about it before. It's like, the point of a song is to create that, feel. It's for people to feel it, and you are doing the execution well, and, it's delivery is there, but, it is rapidy rap, and you'd have to really be paying attention. It's more like you'd have to, it wouldn't be a song that you turn on at the function. You'd have to sit there and listen to it like too closely in order to get it.
Which mind you, is a time. Like I'm not gonna say like Adele some cut because I can't play her at every function. That's obviously because sometimes you play her in your room, or whatever. That being said, I mean I understand. I mean we're all not perfect, and even here I had my stumbles, and there's probably concepts I could have nailed even further musically or even in performance. I mean that's my input. I think some of my performances weren't crazy, but yeah, those things really could have brought it all together so that they're more sonically pleasing or whatever.
And then I have another, I think this is a long note.
Okay.
But I think I already touched, like I said, I was coming back to it. I feel like this album is you going backwards, which is what you said it, not backwards as in like you suck ass, but like
back to the roots.
Yeah. Paying too much homage to your roots, resulting in a quotation. I wrote this like while I was still listening to it. A boring experience. Again, I don't think you're a boring person, and that might be some bias behind it because I fucking hate rapidy rap.
Yeah.
But the boring experience is basically what I said earlier, where I was like, it's not creating enough of a vibe. It's more of just like I have to sit there and listen to it in order to understand. Like I have to really fucking be like listening to you. The experimental DAX I personally know and love is not present on this album as much because most of it is just okay. I'm taking it back, guys. It's a throwback. It's like I'm about to rapidy rap, and I know that you can do. And I know like even at this time you were probably capable of doing that. But this is really just a album for your old fans, I would say, and the people who already knew you. And I feel like this wouldn't be an album to be like, yeah, this is DJ Dax right here, or hey, this is new Dax, like, or it's not an introductory level album.
You do think it's like a return of form again, yeah.
Yeah. And it's still good. Don't get me wrong, and it has bangers. But it's just not one of the greater Dax albums, in my personal opinion. These are just personal opinions.
No, yeah, I mean that's all worthwhile. I think the last thing I'm gonna say before maybe I look at the ranking one more time is that I do think it's part of me to want to. I mean, as you're calling it, rapidy rap, I guess. From time to time, and from song to song or from project to project. So like I wouldn't even like setting the expectation right. I guess even now I wouldn't want people to think Yeah, and he's never gonna do anything like that ever again. Because that thing isn't necessarily a community exclusive. It's just that the community also knows me for being able to do that. So you know that's why it doubles as a favor for the community that I'm doing that. But yeah, I mean that's I think one of the most poignant things you just said was the thing about the experimenting and like the sort of vibe situation, because what I sort of pair that with, that sort of idea of like how much of that is present in the project, I think a lot about how much did I play with, honestly, the production, right? Because production is the most musical thing, especially if I'm rapping mostly and I'm not singing as often. Then the most musical thing that you'll find on the song, for at least throughout the duration of it, is the beat itself. And I mean, yeah, there's some play, but like when thinking about projects like Aureen and Nim, there isn't as much play with that, I think. Like, for example, the highlights of stuff like that, I would say, you know, any instances of beat flips, like on The Move, The Cleanse. I made that happen, whereas on The Shift, the beat flip came with it. On The Exchange, the beat flip came with it. I think I experiment with the song, the audacity itself, in that I had never really rapped on something like that before. And it really gave Archer a time to shine. And it's such a progressive beat. So there I didn't play with the production, I think, but it was because the production was already kind of, you know, bizarre. And I rapped on it. Shout out the good. But yeah, very, very interesting stuff. Looking at the list here.
And while you do your list, I'm going to do a bio break.
Okay.
Unless you want to do an intermission eventually, I don't know.
No, go bio break. No, you got a pee, I'm assuming, or something.
Yeah, but it's Twitch wording, bio break, easy.
Okay.
Clean it up a little. Think about the keys.
The urine. Let's see. I keep thinking of this spot. Oof. It's Aureen that I'm looking at. I don't know if it's above or below Aureen. Is it better? Is it better than Aureen? It's like sort of sonically better than Aureen. It's not as thematically satisfying as Aureen. And it's not as like ambitious both thematically and sonically as Aureen. Crap. I think that's it. That makes sense. Like, I don't want to because I love the tape. And it doesn't mean, like, dude, top 3 is good. But it makes sense. Ultimately, this is the most calm look at that project. That, yes, it is ultimately number 3 on the ranking. Wow. What an experience. I'm going to go through some bonus content. I mean, I know BZAR should be here for this because there's some cool stuff that might perk his ears and his eyes. And then I got a surprise for y'all. But the tape. Let's go into some of the art. The tape. The project marred by struggle to define. Like I said, I needed to get some definition. The project was born out of need. No visuals giving birth to the sounds this time. What I'm attesting to is that the tape was one of the first instances in my discography where I did not come up with the cover art before the music. I did that with Aureen, with Future, with Bliss, like many stuff, where I was visually inspired first, and then I came up with a sonic idea afterwards. So the tape is one of the first instances of me doing it after the music, because the music was the important thing. There was an October 17, and I knew that before October 18, there were some things I needed to get off of my chest. A return to the DAX that could out-rap any entire community doubled as an introduction of the side I've always repressed, my anger. That's actually literally what I said a bit ago, that the rapidy rap doubles as a community thing and like the avenue for a different mood, which is the anger through
venting DAX.
Exactly. There's fire in my blood and names on the mud. You feel it in the color scheme of the project, with the reds and the beiges. The tape, all the cover art, trying to stick to that theme kind of loosely. Some promotional images like the track list reveal. Some quotes. There's fire in the blood, names on the mud. That's the way it is, which is the first thing you hear on the project.
That's the way it is.
Which is actually from like a famous like news anchor guy that always ended his sign-offs that way. Like, I'm so-and-so. It's like John something, John Cronker.
Walter Cronkite.
Something like that. Let me actually. I'm looking on the on my notes page here because I'm sure I have it written. Yeah, Walter Cronkite. That's the way it is. Because it's definition. That's the way it is. It is what it is. I don't want to be bitter at all. I'm not gonna watch this whole thing, but this is like the release of the project was teased with this. Shortly after his 22nd birthday, DJ DAX made his first song, Born Out of Anger.
In the Harry Potter font.
It is not that. Jesus Christ. Eventually, this would lead to an entire project with that song as an introduction. This is that song. So yeah, the statement, blah, blah, blah. Sort of introducing the theming of like the paint and all that too. Quotes from the project that like stuck out to me. Some more promo stuff, banners, the track list. Love that for sure. And Yee. But the surprise that I had in mind, that I definitely wanted BZAR around for, was that, with a lot of these other projects, there have been bonus tracks, like on Aureen and Future Fantasy, on Bliss. The tape actually has a bonus track in Spirit, and it's called The Birthday. If you listen to it,
no way!
It's part of that. I mean, it's color scheme the same.
It's got the same font.
It's got the same font. The whole point is that you're supposed to listen to it in conjunction with the tape, and it's even titled the same.
Where does it go?
The Birthday.
Where does it go though?
What are you talking about?
Like, where would you listen to it? Like the last track?
Oh, it's the very last track. Yes, and
sneaky little.
That's right. And I'm gonna explain the connections in it and post listen. We're just gonna whiz right through it, and enjoy, guys.
Oh, I got a mute for this one.
You gonna be singing too loud.
I'm gonna be singing, boys.
Burberry top, the gold hoop rings are like a lot. The bigger the better. I got some business to settle. I can't be bitter forever. I told you. I'm a boy, you know it all. My heart, I sure don't see a star. Can we make it honestly? Can we make it honestly? Why? Was it all a waste of time? Were you ever really mine? We got our best kicks, doesn't see you there. Then we act all out like we weren't aware. I'ma make a toast ready love with prayer. Only when around you's when I feel myself. It's been about me when you come around. It's been about us when we're going back and forth now. Back and forth now. Back and forth. We gotta get back and forth now. It's been about me when you come around. It's been about us when we're going back and forth now. Back and forth now. Back and forth. We gotta get back and forth now. High-waisted shorts. I'm talking about the gym kind. You're a good sport. No, that's why you wear them. And other reasons, of course. Future recovery of the buyer's remorse. Pitch black hair, wants the light in her eyes. It's So that's still what you know's on the line. It's not fair, I'm trying to make it that suspend incompatible's a lesson. Want a nigga just kissing like, can we make it honestly? Can we make it honestly? Was it all a waste of time? Were you ever really mine? We got our best kicks to see you there. Then we act all out like we weren't aware.
I'm finna make a.
I'ma make a toast with it love with a prayer.
That's right.
Only when around you's when I feel myself. It's been about me when you come around. It's been about us when we're going back and forth now. Back and forth now. Back and forth. We gotta get back and forth now. It's been about me when you come around. It's been about us when we're going back and forth now. Back and forth now. Back and forth. We gotta get back and forth now.
I'm the boy.
I'm the boy, you know it all. I'm the boy, you got my heart. But I sure don't see a star.
We see the end.
I'm the boy still
So yes, that's The Birthday, a bop, underrated of course, but
very underrated.
Let's talk about those connections.
I want to say one.
Dale. Speak on it.
Bruh, of course I know the title is The Birthday. Of course I know it came out around the time where the tape came out. Did I know it was like a secret bonus track? No, and that's crazy to find out right now.
Yes.
So yeah.
So effective reveal, I guess. So yeah. Look, and this is how you know I'm not pulling it out of my ass. The birthday concerns the only pressing gift I have in mind for my 23rd birthday, to get back with her. It's a pseudo bonus track to the tape, as you might notice, with some referential lyrics. So hot off the heels of the tape, I speak on that a little bit. I can't be bitter forever. There are a couple allusions to the lyrics from my most recent project, the tape. On the prayer, I say, I don't want to be bitter at all. I can't be bitter forever, of course. I'm gonna make a toast I already led with prayer. So, it's a general lyric in that it's time for toasting because we already did the ceremony, the prayer. So let's get into it. Let's party. So that's in it. I mean, in this lyric, I straight up reference the song, The Prayer, the last song on the project, solidifying the sequence of events, playing the song as being after it. Since I've already prayed, I want to move on and make a toast. This kind of serves as a metaphor for moving on from handling the bad things to celebrating the good things. And I believe, lastly, the last reference to it being connected to that is right here on Will You Sleep on Me When I Turn 23? These lyrics here are a reference to similar lyrics on The Cleanse, one of the songs from that recent project of mine. While that was written then for reasons that came up shortly after my 22nd birthday, I bring it up again here more because my 23rd birthday is upon us. The lyrics get recontextualized since Sleep on Me has an air of sexuality, given this song's romantic tone. So, yeah, my birthday eventually came around. Will You Sleep on Me When I Turn 23? This was for my 23rd birthday. I said it back on The Cleanse. For those that need that refresher, right here.
Will you sleep on me when I turn 23? I'm more excited.
Exactly. And I mean, the day came. The day I turned 23.
She slept on you.
Yeah, figuratively.
And physically.
And I guess I sort of allude to that at the beginning of the tape when I say, it's not a straight up connection, but when I say that don't ask Jack about my birthday, because that shit was coming up, you know? And the notion was, don't even pretend like you're interested in mine now. Like, I'm mad. Like, don't show any interest. But of course, by the time the birthday was being conceived, it's almost like if it was all I wanted. So, yeah, that is that project. Yeah.
Where's the ranking at right now?
You can see it on stream.
Oh, shit.
But I've got from the bottom, Being in the Legend at 11, Artificial EP at 10, 72 at 9, Future Fantasy at 8, AVR Forever at 7, Done Dreaming at 6, Bliss Plus Blunder at 5, DAXMAN and the Bazanks at 4, The Tape at 3, Arena at 2, and the Artificial EP Volume 2 at 1.
Because of the tape having a connection to the birthday, automatic number 1. Come on. Easy.
Hilarious.
I know I like ragged on it, but no. Everything I said, throw out the window.
It's gone.
One.
Yeah, because it connected to the song with the most vibes.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. And look, ultimately, guys, I mean, this is something we touched on before, but something that's a big driving force in my albums, in my music, is to not do the same thing I did before. Versatility is my king, right?
Yeah, it gets you hard.
Exactly. 72, a song about like just telling you my life story, or a project about telling you my life story. Artificial, love. Bliss Plus Blunder, the beginning of a trilogy, and this one's about life. It is what it is, the good and the bad. Future Fantasy. Let's focus on that good part. Also, it's a nerdcore album about Final Fantasy 13. Also, it's about God. Aureen. Let's focus on the bad part, actually. It's about colors. Yee. Done Dreaming. And Aureen is not nerdcore. It's actually very mainstream and auto-tuney or whatever. Done Dreaming. Oh yeah, the last one was mainstream? Lo-fi tape. Duh. And we're going to end the trilogy with a post-mortem of sorts, explaining what that was, really telling you what the lore was about. AVR Forever. Damn, I've been doing just normal music for a while, huh? Here's nerdcore again, because y'all know I can definitely do this. In fact, 18 tracks about how to do it. Yee. Artificial EP. Yeah, I think I have more to say about Love Again. After 3 years, mind you. Okay? So, it's time to talk about Love Again. DAXMAN and the Bazanks. Literally never have done a collab EP. Like, for one. And for two, I mean, it's with BZAR.
I was your first?
Yee.
Aww.
Yeah, I lost my virginity to you.
Okay.
The tape.
Stuck around.
The tape. Oh, Daxling and Artificial had vibes? I'm gonna rap at you for 10 songs.
No, yeah.
And before I continue there, because that trend continues, I'm sure you guys get it. Another thing I wanted to touch on before we switch projects to the last one of the night is actually something in terms of my branding. I take the names of my songs and the names of my albums very seriously. From silly stuff like, you just called your project a number, a 2-digit number. That's weird. But it's like something, right? Like, it's like, nigga, what? It's called 72? Artificial. The track list, it spells heart. Duh. With Bliss Plus Blunder, I told you guys about the math in it. The pages plus scraps. The Louis / Vuitton, which is division. The no less, which is inherently about amounts. And then the slash through the O, like a zero. Samus asterisk Aaron, which is Aran, which is multiplication. Digits, which is numbers. Tape minus strips. So it's all there, right? Future Fantasy, it's got the pound sign for the hashtag. So it's like already weird. And the track list looks like mad titles from a Final Fantasy game or something. And even within that trilogy, notice how Bliss Plus Blunder, all in lowercase. Future Fantasy, a mix of both. Aureen, entirely uppercase. So I'm balancing these things. I'm trying not to give people the same thing, even in aesthetic, down to like the words. On Artificial, we got stuff like the aesthetic being that the last section of it is what's capitalized or emphasized. I even sneakily do that with 808. You can't have uppercase numbers, but it's taller than the lowercase Koda song. So, there we are. With Daxling and BZAR DAXMAN, I'll explain that in a bit. But yeah, the tape with everything being the this, the that. And it actually plays into the meaning of the project, which is definition, because it's the thing. It's definitive. So yeah, I mean, it's an aspect I'm proud of. I mean, I get no awards for that. But it's just what motivates me to be who I am. But let's check out the doc, and this will close things out. Yeah, the track list. I mean, you can see this on Stream BZAR. I guess I could show you. Yeah, this is important.
By the way, there's a bot in your chat. I could ban him, but whatever.
Oh,
it's not mod.
I see. Can I do that from here? Yeah, report perhaps.
No, ban.
Okay, actually, I'm a DM him. I think is what I'm gonna do. And I just
hey, can you stop? Can you not? Can you not put that shit in my chat, please? Thanks.
I just blocked him, even though that wasn't what we wanted to do. Okay, so I just switched to the doc for you, BZAR. So yeah, here's the doc for the tape. Detailed. It's where all the thoughts came through. Would jot the stiffs. This part in bold here was me saying I gotta nail that line because maybe that take wasn't good originally, so I had to do it again.
The fact that you bolded it and it became so important to all of us.
Yeah. So some notes. Oh yeah, here are like the cameos, I think. Oh yeah, at the end of the cipher, I say something. At the end of the shift, I say something. At the end of the wage, I say something. This is what Bethuel ended up saying. Redo, which is Redster, and Kaede, their dialogue.
Who the fuck is Kaede? Oh wait, I think I heard him.
From your Shiga side.
Yeah.
Archer and Jaywalk's dialogue. This nigga Baki talking about why these DAX albums always got so many features. This boy think he the DJ Khaled of the community or something like that. Shit. And then of course the tagline, "There's fire in my blood and names in the mud." The features, the producers, the uses of the tags, because I wanted to make sure I get as much as I could in there. I think this is kind of funny that the cleanse. The reason why Man God's verse isn't on all platforms is because he was the last one to submit, and you can even see it on this check here. I never checked it off because it was so last minute that I had to submit it without him first, and then he finally got it in. I'm like, all right, well, SoundCloud exclusive, I guess. But yeah,
that's why I don't know what Man God's verse sounds like because I didn't listen to the tape on SoundCloud. It's on Apple Music.
Nice.
So I was pretty confused. But I was like, what is it?
So Camel really wanted us to show this. This is his parody cover of the tape. Let's do some comparison here. God, I hate Camel. Yeah. And I just realized something, but I cannot bring it up. And Campbell actually just did me dirty, sort of. But I will talk to you about that later, BZAR.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, very funny. Next up, we got it. It's BZAR DAXMAN.
Before BZAR DAXMAN, play my version of the birthday. Just for showing meme shit.
Are you serious? You have a link to this?
No, I don't have it on me right now.
Okay. I was gonna say, Jesus. You just have that. You just have that speed dial.
No.
All right.
You go first, and then I'll go.
Well, I mean, BZAR DAXMAN, we're here.
Look.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that not it.
Speak, BZAR.
All right, cool. Look, I'm taking over the stream now. Okay. It's your boy BZAR Good Boy. Remember to follow Shiga Elysium on Twitter at Shiga Elysium for all your Shiga needs and updates. So be sure to head to BZARGoodBoy.com for my social links and music. Also be sure to head to TulaFiora.com. New drop September 7th. BZAR.DAXMAN, as we said yesterday, is a complete step up from what we did on Daxling. As I said, Daxling solidified me and Dax's relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like BZAR.DAXMAN really solidified our power couple like status.
Right.
Like when we get on the track, like when we get on songs together, best believe it's a fucking banger, and no one else can compete in our friend group, in the community.
Mm-hmm.
No one is competing with me and Dax whenever we're together, and we'll always be together forever. That's my baby, my lover. The shit we did, I never tell, twin.
Shut up.
That's my intro.
Okay, and yeah, no, lovely intro. If we read the description here of BZAR.DAXMAN, it says, DJ Dax and BZAR with an SSS.Gridman themed EP. I want to point something out here, because yes, the circumstance is the same, guys. Where an anime came out, there's a collaboration between two studios, and once again, there's a collaboration between us two, like there was on Daxling and the Bizanks. Only I care about things like this, but DJ Dax and BZAR with a Darling and the Franks themed EP immediately mirrored on DJ Dax and BZAR with an SSS Gridman themed EP. It's just small stuff like that I try to pay attention to.
I appreciate that too. Okay.
The energy this time around is a collision of tokusatsu shows, autotune crooning, mecha anime, rattling flows, shonen anime, and flexing about this year's iPhone. Because ultimately, there's a lot of payoffs to some stuff going on Daxling. I guess I'm gonna have to leave that for later, just for show's sake. But yeah, I guess we can get into it, right? First song, Amnesia. Let's get it. I'm so hyped.
Man, I run around my city like a hero. Tell a bitch I love her, next day reset back to zero. You can't hit me up unless we talking about De Niro. And your bitch head controlling how she acts, shout out hero.
Woo!
I'm a pill popper, only Dr. Zero. Pack star, tell your bitch to come and lick the earlobe. Good boy, back in 8th grade, was a weirdo. Niggas stop me, now I'm on eargo.
Spanish.
Molly got me high as hell, asking where the day go. Sipping water, but I had to pop off like Fago. And I took the top off the whip, watch it change clothes. In another world, under rules.
Bars. Let's go. Classic. Go! Come on, decent. Let's go. I'm on 10.
I knew that you missed me in the end. Y'all can't match what we was doing back then. That I remember can't pretend.
at a time. All right, let me pause right there. I feel like there's so much to say already.
Oh, I have a lot to fucking say.
Man. And we're probably going to say each other's things too, but I mean, for one, in hindsight, I might as well pull up the like DAXMAN lyrics too, but like the fact that you even shout out Hero, who is not of the show.
Yeah.
But is a callback to the fact that that's how we started the last song as well. In the last project as well. Talking about that nigga. Kind of tying that spiritual successor-ness together. Love that. And of course, look, we're not going to explain the concepts of the show forever today. But it's worth noting that anytime we're talking about some reset back to zero, you know, it's actually from the story, in that my man's was suffering from some memory stuff, and it at times it seems like it might be just you, boy, but at the same time, it seems like there was something supernatural going on where his days were starting over and over again, on some Groundhog's Day shit. So, you know, interpret every subsequent bar from there on out with that context. So, you know, those are all bars, of course. Gotta love the Mitt to DMV. Gotta love the Only Kings in My Circle, the tag reference. I mean, yeah, utterly slayed that first verse, and for that momentum to be passed off like that into mine is just so much fun.
I'm smiling.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, on mine, I mean, just jabs here and there. I mean, I had to poke fun of BZAR and his drug use.
Okay. That's not cool.
Ultimately, coming together with this culmination of BZAR. It's between BZAR and DAX. Who are you gonna take home? Which seems like, all right, why do we keep pitting? Why pit BZAR and DAX against each other? Funny enough, on Daxling in the Bazanks, I do say PDRV BZAR, so it wouldn't be the first time. And also, that's also inspired by a trope in the show of how there's two girls to consider for the main protagonist. So it is interesting that at this point we're kind of flipping that idea of like it's two niggas you got to choose between. Shoddy. And of course BZAR takes that and runs with it. Introducing the now infamous Lil Whore scheme. I would like to clarify I am in fact a feminist, and when we say it's Lil Whore, it's because, you know, she is who she is and she's proud to be it. And honestly, I allude to that. That's not just out of my ass, but when I say whether she be a goddess or modest or just a straight little whore, but whatever's your option, just know it's straight, mi amor. Because, you know, if she wants to be treated like that, I'm going to treat her like that. Like, that's part of her decision. But also, if she want to be modest or be, like, out of my league, like, that's all within her right, her power. So, whatever. Don't trip, little nigga. Honestly, like, I think an underrated moment is this right here. The BZAR DAX, gonna fuck it up again. Just trading bar to bar. I don't know how, but it just sounds so effortless, confident, like it's somehow flow, but it's not even that like it's just, I don't know, it rubs me the right way, pause, and I love it. Like it's a great back and forth.
I have so much to say. I'm just.
I'll toss it after this, of course.
Alright, cool.
The hook, it seems you're right. Ain't shit on my mind. Ain't shit on my mind. A lot of time. Ultimately speaking to the main protagonist's affliction of amnesia. And of course it was a moment when, you know, that beat flip happens with the keys. Once again, emulating the ending of No Other Way with that beat flip with the keys. This time with a more traditional sounding piano. Love it. Spiritual once again. Really brings it all together. BZAR, what do you got for me?
Oh, all right. So, and I'm glad that you named this review week, because you didn't say that we were like, you know, having
just listening to them.
Yeah, but not even like just listening, but like we don't have to necessarily point out any negatives or say what we could do better or anything, because I told y'all yesterday, like, you thought DAXing was good.
Mm-hmm.
And after hearing this, what did I fucking say, bro? What did I tell you yesterday?
Yeah.
Look, this is coming off of us, like I said, to solidify our friendship. We've been working together since then, type deal. Like, we didn't make that much music together, but we made songs around each other or something like that.
Yeah, or mad features and stuff like that.
Yeah, and so when it got to this, I want to first shout out Apple for making it possible. There was something that wasn't really a thing for a while, but sharing notes was something I had never done necessarily. So we had like a joint notepad when we wrote this.
That's right.
And when we heard the beat, I was like, yo, I got something for this, you know, and started out confident as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I was like, I just know Dax is going to come with some crazy shit. As I'm writing it, I'm like, yo, you know, it's cool written, but when we deliver it, it's going to be so fucking amazing.
It's going to be different. That's right.
And we did just that. Like, I mean, I won't go through every lyric, but like, it's just crazy shit in there. Like, and I'm still sticking to the theme of, you know, fucking, I started out with the shout out hero, and I'm also tell a bitch I love her, next day reset back to 0. It's like I told you that, but that was I forgot to mention, that's like we speculated that that's what he told old girl before he lost his memory anyway.
Oh, that's right. Almost like that caused it or something.
Yeah, and that's why she was like whatever emo about that shit. So I also want to comment on the BZAR and Dax, who you're gonna take home, and the two girls in the show. And I might be going too deep or reaching or something like that, but me and Dax, we have very similar goals and ideals and everything, but we are two different people.
Yeah.
And that's even apparent in when I say Lil Whore, or I really fucking mean that shit.
Yeah.
I was being very fucking misogynistic. I was.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's like, well, you know, I'll go with the flow, but like, you know, I'm gonna switch it up. He's like the nice, you know, no matter what you are, you know, I still support you. No, I was being very fucking rude. That was the point of mine. Yeah. So it does make that contrast to where it is like, okay, because the two girls are very different.
Yes, yes.
But they are almost one and the same.
No, that's duality right there.
Yeah, that's duality of man. You could, but that's why, you know, when it's a collab, like when we're collabing, we are there to make a great song, but you know, doing our different thug thizzle on it, basically.
Yeah.
And that's even more. I wanted to highlight that while we were writing the notes. I'm like, yo, we should go. I do this first verse, we go into you, and then whatever you say, I'm gonna roll off of it. And then we rolled off of it where I go, who you gonna take? And then when it gets to the BZAR Dax, we gonna fuck it up again. We planned that too. It's like we should go even more as one, like progressively get closer and closer together.
Assimilate.
Yeah. Autobots pass me the sauce or whatever the fuck.
Yo, is that? I'm stealing that.
No, that's on Pierre's T-Lot 4
Goddamn
Deluxe.
I have not heard it yet. Goddamn it.
Yeah. And also, I guess to finish up what I'm saying right now is just a little tidbit. When Dax said brand new drip feel like the hyper agent, I had no idea what the fuck he said, but I ad-libbed over it anyways, with what it sounded like to me, which was the wrong lyric, but still fire as hell.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I've said that to you before.
Yeah, so the hyper agent, it's like it's a thing, but in the show, of course.
Yeah, I just go hyper game.
Kaiju in the Mist. Yep. I mean, classic track. I mean, I think it immediately set the tone. You're getting into something like familiar but different. And we got a little transition here, leading into the next song, Rakane. I just realized the name, the description for this song.
Dumb.
Think about it, how all of this started. You were who you were, that's all that I knew for sure. This one's number 2, this one's number 2. Wish I always knew that listen up, who am I to choose? Love it when you're loving me, even when you don't get it, I don't sweat it, cause you trusted me. Look good in that sweater, I'm so proud you helped me save lives. And you got some great vibes, of course they say they save lives. Who am I to choose? Love it when you love me, you get all my passions, made them happen, oh so suddenly. Look good in those stockings, you duty be rocking. I don't mind that you're watching, I don't care if it's stalking. I don't mind you, what I find you, going big, going get you. But sometimes you switch over to be Rico like that. The way I mimic goes up when you're Rico like that. And that's both sides of you. Woo! I'm trying to confide in you. But when I ride with you, which one am I talking to? And there's both sides of you. I'm trying to confide in you. And when I ride with you, which one am I talking to?
Let's go.
Trigger set the precedent and ultra set the tone. Feel like it amnesia, I feel that I'm alone. You wanna be Rico when you're not at home. Gripping hard, get them upgrades added to my phone.
Hello?
Girl, I swear I need you, I can do this on my own. See you when I see you, let my mind roam. You hate being Rico, I think that you're wrong.
I think that.
I think that you're pretty. I think that you're beautiful, girl. You made me feel dizzy. Sorry if I ever said I love you, that was silly. Sorry if I ever said I love you, really. Good boy. I'm right beside of you.
Let's go.
I see inside of you. Why would I lie to you? I would have to lie for two. And there's no sides of you. I'm trying to confide in you. When I ride with you, which one am I talking to? And there's no sides of you. I'm trying to confide in you. And when I ride with you, which one am I talking to?
Yes. Before I go,
Risey K Riser.
yeah, that right.
Yo, Pierre.
Risey. Yeah. I love this song so much. Before we get into the transition there, outro and transition, the most notable things to me, I mean, is how once again we really nailed the theming on this one. So for one, another clever ass name, similar to how I find the name 02 to be very clever given its placement on the track list. Rakane, fusing the names of Rika and Akane together, which I'm sure might have even been intentional by the like the actual show creators point, but you know, whatever. We definitely figured that out. So and that's because ultimately the show deals with two females, two women that our protagonist is dealing with. One of them kind of on his side, one of them not, but also showing love. You know, bizarre enough. But yeah, I mean, spoilers for the show for SSS.Gridman. It kind of turns out that they're more one than we think, in that it's like Rika is the true self and Akane is Como. Why did the Spanish come out? Akane is like Rika's almost like desired self, like what she would imagine she could be or should be or whatever the hell. Which is interesting in of itself. But what we choose to do is to kind of literalize that, you know, and kind of make it a thing mostly for the general public of, you know, a woman who's kind of double speaking, a girl who's, you know, she feels one way one time and another way another time. You know, we've all been there with anybody, any gender, whatever. You know, that I think that's very clutch on our part. The fact that this song is about the duality of this woman, you know, that it's about a two-faced individual, in a sense, makes it also perfectly track number 2 on this project, which I love as well.
All planned out.
Of course, all planned out. I mean, and it's there with this one saying, this one's number 2. In terms of breaking down my verse, I'm not going to go super in depth because I already said a lot. But structurally, it's math. So the first 4 bar, it's basically it's lore based in that it's like, think about it, how all of this started, right? You were who you were, that's all I knew for sure. That's literally just the premise of the show. In that, you know, there's amnesia at play, so think about it, like, you know, rewind in your head. And honestly, this man didn't know much, but the fact that, like, apparently they know each other. But whatever. And I wish I always knew that, and then that thought never gets completed. The next 8 bars should be split in half, because the first 4 are concerning, what's it called? Rika. You know, she's, love it when you're loving me. Even when you don't get it, I don't sweat it because you trust in me. She's in the show, she's not a huge fan of the fact that this man's kind of like an otaku, but whatever. They're friends regardless. She looks good in her little cardigan sweater thing. She pitches in with saving lives. She has nice thighs. And, you know, thick thighs save lives, which is the pun there. The second half of that 8 bar is addressing Akane. Love it when you love with me. You get all my passions. Made him happen oh so suddenly. Because she is an otaku herself. She looks good in stockings. And she has been stalking the protagonist for some time. And continues to do so in the show. And then the last 4 bar, you actually get that split in half, with the first 2 referencing Akane, and the last 2 referencing Rika. Very mathematical. Love the hook. That's both sides of you, trying to confide in you. When I ride with you, which one am I talking to? Two-faced hoe. BZAR, what you got for me?
I think you did a really good job at explaining it, because I was going to come in and be like, you know, it was that plan for Rikane to be the second track. Like, we thought about it, like, a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it was... originally, I also want to, before I get into the thing, is this one's number 2, this one's number 2. Like,
Oof.
it's just... Yeah. You feel me? Like, you wasn't even going that deep, but it does make sense.
Yeah.
Originally this song, because again, it works so well, because like I said, me and Dax, like, we're coming to a collab. By the way, I never wanted to do this album or this EP.
Mm-hmm.
He forced me to. Anyways, while we were doing it, I enjoyed it a lot. But, you know, we're just really reinforcing that idea that, or when we first started with this song, we wanted to reinforce the idea that, you know, it's 2 girls, but I'm a fan of Akane.
Yeah.
Dax is a fan of Rika more
right.
so, and that originally the song was gonna be us like
feuding over that.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Peso Pete DJ Dax 2015 shit basically.
Yep.
But I'm glad it came out to what it was when he sent the reference over. I was like, oh, like, okay, so this is what we're going for. And one thing that I don't know if Dax did intentionally or not about my verse, because I brought this up to you before when I was listening.
Oh, some ad lib play. Go ahead.
Yeah. So one of my tags is BZAR, I love you, and you know, it plays right after I do the I think that you're wrong, and then I go into I think that you're pretty, right?
Yeah.
And at first I thought it was just a tag placement, but I was like, no, that could be interpreted as the girl is telling me, you know, I love you, and I'm like,
I think that you're pretty.
I think you're pretty, like, that's it. and that's like backed by the sorry if I ever said I love you, that was silly. Going on the the whole like if I did, I forgot about it. I have amnesia.
Yeah.
And I remember, and Dax didn't touch on this, but I remember when we were talking about it initially, the right beside of you, I see inside of you, why would I lie to you? I'd have to lie for two was one of his favorite lines.
Yes.
And it's like dealing with people, that are either bipolar or switch up a lot. And I wouldn't say like bipolar in the actual mental illness sense, but like, people that just like to change their mind a lot. What's the reason in lying to them? Like if one of them is not going to like it, basically.
Yeah. And it's almost as if, like, if you wanted to fool her, you'd have to fool both of her, which is like, so that line really speaks to the labor. I would have to lie for two. So, no, I definitely love that. And the next couple lyrics speak to that some more as we transition into iPhone X, SSS, S. Oh, I love that. Gotta hear both sides. iPhone X SSS.
Hello? No, we released that last year. You want another one? Okay, it's coming up on the project, I guess. Okay, bye. Fucking asshole. No code of the safest, the code is my face. Fight till the king, but still get on my space. Protection around me, no matter the case. My shorty rig up and capture the taste. Put it with grit, ain't no need for a microphone max, man, I've been the upgrade. Come run with that, just get there with that gripping. That's my little baby, looks good on this swim team. BZAR still with me, this nigga's on this 15. I rotate my ice fist to blizzard blisters, get that bigger picture. She likes killer liquor, there's two bitches the same, awesome sister, like it's kiss success, still excess. What we on, it's excess. License the same, first things on the same. Here, like a snack, baby, the wager. It's DAX, BZAR comes later. Had you emoji, a monster with data.
Let's go.
My iPhone too fat from the text, you can check it. It's snap on my dream, bitch, I already said it. It's iPhone XX, but I changed up the setup. My iPhone too heavy, get gas like unleaded. Yo, bitch on my line and she saw that I read it, but I don't respond cause these hoes are too petty. iPhone XS coming up, are you ready? Yeah, bitch, I got it. I got the bag in the tag. iPhone XS in the tag. And if you wet, I am the close to your body. Then your bitch send me a text. Come for your neck. She see the phone, give me neck. Then I might come in her neck. I feel like Shaq. Bitch, you know I'm from the
I'm about to pause it. Okay. So, yeah. We're here. iPhone X, SSS. Boy, what an opportune moment. Again,
it's so perfect.
It's so perfect. I don't know why there's so much mirroring going on, but for one, iPhone X on DAXLing was, of course, remarking on the fact that the iPhone X had released that year, or at least was the most recent iPhone. And then for iPhone XS, the next phone Apple would release, it was an alley-oop. Not just because we could totally just make another song about that phone, but because the name of the show is SSSS Gridman, which stands for its own thing. But, dog, instead of replicating the double X from Darling in the Franxx like last time, we replicate the quadruple S from SSS Gridman this time in the iPhone X title. So, super duper beautiful that even turned out that way. Amazing alley-oop. For those of you wondering, I can play this again because I don't have this in the lyrics. 1 second here.
Okay, bye.
I called it, you came.
Fucking asshole.
I called it too strange. I called it it rang, and then the next line is, this dream might be this whole thing. Which is a reference to the show. I mean, it turns out it was all a dream. Sort of. Yeah, I used to. Yeah, super proud of my verse. 512 the gig is a reference. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Am I gonna keep doing this? Of course, to 256 years no Sam. From the first joint. And I even also deliver that the beginning bar similarly to this one, where I start before the beat starts. You see, there's like a fifth in the 4 bar, and I do that here. No code of the same page. The code is my face. Boom, and it starts. Of course, general Gridman bars, general iPhone bars with, and I tried. That was a hard ass balance this time. Mechaphone Max. I mean, because Max is the term both in the show and in terms of like the iPhone XS Max being a thing. So there's a Mecha Max and there's an iPhone Max. So very, very difficult. BZAR's drug addiction is still persistent with his 5th lean.
I don't even. What does that mean? Like I have a 5th of lean or my 5th
cup?
Like,
yeah, of lean.
Jesus.
Yeah. So he said water, I guess, is
I
the
do
truth.
drink the water, but I also drink Hennessy like it's water. Do not do drugs or alcohol, kids. There you go.
She likes the killer liquor. I love this line because I don't know how the hell I pulled it off. Those two bitches the same. Of course, Rikane is the song we just heard, and it's about Rika and Akane on some Sister Sister, which of course is a show pertaining to twins. And of course, like it's Kiss XS, which is about 2 sisters as well. And
in a different light.
Say what?
In a different light, yeah.
Yeah. And X-Sis sounds a lot like the phone in question, the XS. So that whole thing is just crazy. Of course, kaiju emoji, not a real thing, but it was my way of being like, yup, Gridman and iPhones, correct. Camo's verse, I mean, I love that he does his callbacks too. With the snap on my drink, I already said it, right, on iPhone XX, but he changed up the setup. And I mean, he snapped the energy that he could not deliver then, he's delivering now. And it's part of what we were saying the last time we reviewed the BZAR project, the BZAR DAX, or BZAR and DAX project, which was that Camo wasn't where he is today, and I almost like wish he was, but that's because where he is today is just so good. And I mean, we see a glimpse of that here, in some of his delivery and some of his cleverness as well. Like my bullets hit scan like a test. Love his verse a lot. And then we get into BZAR, who on this song is the peso of the song.
I made a point to do that one.
Yeah. So we gonna get that. I'm gonna run it back. Boom. Oh wait, we weren't even there. Jesus.
I'm in Adidas with peso and Nike. My bitch a vampire. She say tryna buy me the money, the motive, the profit. My psyche, my city show love. I feel like Aphrodite. They touch the water hole. This ain't no chai tea. Fuck up a sec, make it wanna learn Tai Chi. Nigga move wrong, you get hit with a try.
That's right.
About money, the combo unsightly. Hey, being sad, but the sad boys love it. Hoes scream my name, they see me out in public. Feel like a genie, my lamp, yeah, she rub it. They can't control me, bitch, I'm not a puppet. I can't fuck her, that bitch built like a Muppet. Block Wendy Williams, the way that I tuck it. Too long on me, saw your bitch and she dug it. This got a dick, pull it out, make you suck it. I walk around with the exes.
Crazy.
You walk around with your exes. I walk around steady flexing. You walk around like you Texas. The watch on my wrist look like X-Men. Bezel hands slide over the seconds.
Crazy.
Took 2 Xannies, I'm still restless. My back look like I got a death wish. Can't hit a jewel if it ain't meant. That's on my mama. My girl is Nirvana. Yo, bitch, a iguana.
Flowing.
Matter of fact, she's a piranha. Wish you were me, yeah, you wanna. Drip like a sauna in
Tijuana.
Tell that little hoe that she total drama. You smoking dick, I smoke marijuana. I'm the greatest ever, not a prima donna.
Slid.
My phone in my hand, the other got cabbage. My
swag is special, you mad you can't have it. My phone on D&D, start trying to tap it. Prima on my shirt and good boy on my jacket. These are the stripes in my shoe, gotta check on it. Look what I made, put some respect on it. Hand in my hand and she wanna have sex on it. I dig a bit and I might leave a mess on it. Pulling the plugs on you motherfuckers, that's it. If he don't got it, then homie who has it. Lights in the flashes, homie my life is a pageant. Saw me a bag and you know that I grabbed it. But this shit deep, I'ma flip it and pass it. I phone on meeting, my face just a tap it. She wanna fuck up a sack in the same fit. 6 levels up with an
Yeah.
Text so you know I'm not stupid. She in my line when she fiending for less, but you know I'm 111, I'm really not cute. She got so many guys, it's making me sick to my stomach. I promise I wanna start puking. Even if we're even armored, I'm different. I promise no matter what, I won't be losing. Drink of my baby, go crazy, go stupid. And she got the thighs that's finna make me lose it. The S that's for super and stupid and swimming. And if we is winning, her thighs are for supper. I may be slow, but you know it will not be so great if you play me like I was a sucker. If you go love me, you know I'm gonna love you. Her eyes and she gave me a pucker.
Woo! Hit me with it. Hit me with it. Hit me with it.
Pause.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with the my verse because it gets Jay snapped.
Yes.
But I do have only one critique about my verse, and it's in my delivery of it. Everyone was like doing the, screaming voice or whatever, and at this time I didn't really have that screaming voice nor the screaming like mixing tools to even know what it would sound like when I scream.
Okay.
So my screaming is like, not really as grand as everyone else's. However, I did come in with the bar. Like, I made it a point to be like, I'm about to snap. They're kind of like simple, but it's still hard in my opinion. And like, what part did I get to? It was the.
What part's the simple part?
None of it, because I'm the greatest. I walk around. What the fuck? Oh, you walk around like you Texas. And I was originally gonna say dry, but anyways, that's not the point. The reason why my verse is so long, as we kind of already said a bit, but when we slid iPhone XX to peso, he just went for like 9 years.
Yeah.
Right. And then this time I was slid the same thing where it was like I got the whole beat and nobody else's verses. So I went longer than I should have, and then Dax was like, "Yo, like you went longer, but I could probably like fit it in." I'm like, you know what? Yeah, do the whole verse.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting the longer verse this time. Fuck
Yeah.
Peso. It's not his collab EP. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
And then I guess we'll skip Peso. He did his thing.
Yeah.
But Jaywalk.
Well, no.
actually,
I mean, there's something notable here about Peso's verse.
Go ahead.
And that he ties it into how you start with I'm in Adidas, but Peso in Nike. And the fact that he says BZAR and stripes and my shoe got a check on it.
Not only that, I say Tula, me saw your bitch and she dug it, and he also says Prima on my shirt and good boy on my jacket.
There we go.
Referencing TulaFiora.com, which you can new drop September 7th.
How do I mute this
right now.
guy?
If you want to get the champion shirts, do that before August. Okay. But yeah, I'm really glad that he did that, because I really love that part of just collabing on things when you pick up where someone left off or reference something that someone already said, but like in a different way. You're building upon each other. The energy is just going crazy. Yeah. Now, Jaywalk, something I did not know until right now. Remember, this was 11 months ago. We'll say like a year ago when we wrote it and shit.
Yes.
I guess almost. S stands for super and stupid and swimming, and if we is winning, her thighs are for supper. The 4 S's?
Yes.
Did not even realize that nigga's dirty. I fucking love you, Jaywalk.
Yeah.
You're nasty.
Yeah.
You're fucking nasty. Like,
no,
I listened to this song like thousands, probably. Not thousands.
Yeah, out of the play count of 8K, year 4.
Yeah. I listened to it a lot, and I did not know that ever. For 11 months, I did not know that, and I just want to say that you're great. Keep doing you, kid.
Yeah.
Anything for a
fan
city.
But Yee, no, I love that too. I like that he references the truth.
Yeah.
That he had a 6 on iPhone XX, but he leveled up finally, which is great because ultimately that is Jaywalk's role in all of this, right? That in the original, he was a little nigga trying to level up, He was placed on our song, and he had to prove himself. And I mean, look at you, his elder now, freaking out, realizing that he,
Nigga, you're
in fact
nasty.
did. Yeah.
Like I just took it for surface level. Rika go, my baby go crazy, go stupid. And like, you know, it's just some jaywalk shit. Nigga, you got deep as hell, and I didn't even know that shit. Pause.
That's right.
Like, that's crazy. I fucking hate you. Like, yeah.
And last but not least, we got Real You. I mean, let's just close things off. That's right.
I've been lost in baby, I can tell. Always give me your sign on myself. Feel a dream, but you're still dreaming for yourself. I'm gonna love you, girl, nobody else.
I have to pause it. I mean, obviously the vibes that are being set are crazy. I mean, this hook it's not like creative in that like, yo, no one's ever written a hook like that, but it's creative in that like, that's not my first thought in terms of like, when I'm trying to write a hook, to do lines like that with words so spread out. So it's definitely unique, which I love. And I mean, it sounds good, and it's so rewarding when we get into its repetition when you got the I don't in the back. So awesome, love that. We've only had 4 bars of me just now. You're a dream, but you're still dreaming for yourself. Obviously, super show shit. But that last line is a reference, and was a reference before I even could have been. And that the song in question wasn't even out yet. I'm Gonna Love You, Girl, Nobody Else was a reference to this hook on the Shiga Elysium, I guess, like, tape.
Album.
Yeah. Let's see here. So crazy connection there. Let's run it back.
I'm gonna love you, girl, nobody else. I get a big beam, I get a plan. Her with a 16, cause I'm the man. She's into Ojo, she's gonna stand. This for the culture, shout out Japan. This is our culture, I'm going hand. Jump in her ocean, jumping like oh shit. She's my opponent, but I'm a fan. Maybe let's wake up, still holding hands. There ain't no quotient, no divide. Telling border lies and the code of guys. I came from the screen like it's poltergeist. Staying in the dream is your demise. Gotta be the real me for you. Baby, I got real feelings for you. And the power of mortality is not to be with thee. I'm with D.I.E. for you. Baby, I'm a monster with it, got my line kicks on. I just killed so many niggas, need mass resurrection. Not alone whenever, not alone forever. I don't need an acceptor for me to accept her.
Love that. Okay. Also, and that ending there, I'm saying, think about it. How all of this started. You were who you were. That's all I knew for sure. Which is the opening lyrics from Rakane. But yeah. Wow. Vibes.
Vibes in this bitch. Sorry.
Love that song. As well. Some light stuff to touch on here, besides the original thing I remarked on. She's into Ultra. She's been a stan. It's for the culture. Shout out Japan. I think what ends up happening here is that I end up like referencing Akane the most because I said she's my opponent, but I'm a fan. Because that's kind of Akane's role in that she's like she shares so much with me, but also she's supposed to be the villain, but kind of like barely is. Which I guess is why I would even say you are the dream, but you're still dreaming for yourself. And why I would even be telling her to be the real her, no? Because that ain't her. And also a little bit of a I gotta be the real me for you. I came from the screen like it's Poltergeist. I mean, that nigga Gridman is in the screen. We've seen the show.
Like The Grudge.
That's right.
The Ring. Fuck.
Like the Grinch. Like somebody niggas the Mass Resurrection. This part seems so contrived in hindsight because I don't know if I would have delivered it any better today. But the power of mortality is that to be with thee, I would die for you. It's because they speak on that, like in the show at some point, about the power of mortality. And it's like, you know what it really means? Oh, because they're talking I think the villain wanted to be like immortal. And Gridman's like, you know what? There's a power in mortality. Because when you can die, that means you can die for something.
You can love.
And I'm like, okay, that's bars, I guess. So I put that in, and yeah, the dying for something means that I could die for her.
I have a comment.
Go ahead.
Back when we released this, I remember you saying like, "Oh, I feel like that part like is a little too nerdy, or something like that." I forget what you said, but you didn't like how you delivered it 100%.
Yes.
But I told you back then, and I'll say it now. Like I think that it was, I wouldn't say perfect, but I think that it was like great, like how you delivered it. I didn't think it was too much of anything like negative at all, and it's all lovey-dovey. I mean, listen to the bubbliness of the beat itself, because now I'm thinking about it, like, as much as Akane is a villain, she is kind of driven by damn near her inner demons. Yeah. Like this EP could be much more dark, and I feel like we did a light approach to it a bit.
Yeah.
It's more lovey-dovey.
Yeah, because the show is mainly light, but it lets you know that there are some dark stuff. No.
Dark undertones, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Which is highlighted in the. You still have more to say?
No, not at all.
It has dark undertones, which is kind of highlighted in the hook that I did. By the way, I appreciate you for saying your comments about that. Because we are just kind of wrapping up basically what the show is, and it's like, I don't fucking know who you are really, but I really hope that you know yourself, because like, yes, that's on you. Like your whole little battle between yourself is, you really gotta know who you are before you be coming up to me talking about let's go on a date.
And I guess it does speak to like a very neutral sympathy with someone that has maybe something going on, right? And that, like, I'm not saying like screw you, like I don't care about you, but ultimately, you got something going on, and I hope you get that sorted. Like that's the best I can give you. Like my hopes are that you get that figured out, so that you can be better for it.
I need the real you, because if not, it's a Rakane situation going on.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, and it's good that we ended the song with that. The project with that, because ultimately that's sort of how the show, wraps up, like signaling the fact that that's even a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because yeah, with Darling being the ending of DAXLing, since I'm almost forcing these mirrors here. I mean, yeah, I mean the show, that show ends with literally the greatest, like literally the greatest marriage of ideas, and that like yeah, I mean he gets the girl and they live happily ever after, sort of, you know.
I wish I had the video up. Fuck, hold on.
What, are you gonna pull it up?
I'm gonna try and find it. And
I mean,
send it to you.
I can look it up.
Wait, what are you looking at?
Oh no, never mind. Yeah, go ahead. But yeah, the Darling thing speaks to that, and more neutrally over here, Real You is like, you know, kind of lovey-dovey, but where we end is like, you know, you should really be the real you, which I love. I forget if I've been doing the bonus content before or after the rankings. I think it's actually after. But I mean, I can get into it now. I mean, I guess when it comes to ranking this, it's something we can definitely do. Dang, so BZAR DAX, man. Let's see what we got.
I'm sending it to you over iMessage. I hope that do you have Nitro?
Yeah.
Okay, so you may be able to upload it. I don't know if I'm able to. I'm gonna try it regardless, but it said it had an error downloading it from iCloud, so we'll see.
Just let me know when it's there.
Yeah.
I know where this is.
I wonder. Let's see.
And I'll explain myself as I put it there. Yeah. It sort of makes sense, and the philosophy is clear. So, I think it belongs at number 3. BZAR DAXMAN.
It's not better than Areen or the Artificial EP? Boy, it's a cut.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like I'm giving it its graces, but well, I'll explain in a second, I guess. So the ranking is Begin the Legend at 12, The Artificial EP at 11, 72 at 10, Future Fantasy at 9, AVR Forever at 8, Done Dreaming at 7, Blissful Splendor at 6, DAXMAN Lips at 5, The Tape at 4, BZAR DAXMAN at 3, Arena at 2, and The Artificial EP Volume 2 at 1. And the reason for that, because I did struggle a little bit. I mean, you know, it's not easy. I think BZAR DAXMAN excels for a lot of the reasons that the Artificial EP excels as well, which is that it's consistent. It's consistent, and also the quality that we're talking about here is also really high. Like it's good. Whoops. Oh my god, I don't even want to hear this video you just sent me.
Yeah, but I was able to send it in Discord, so cool.
Okay. Let me just play that now, actually.
No. Continue before me, because I have an explanation for the video.
Oh, sure. So yeah, BZAR DAXMAN is consistent and of high quality, of high regard, I think. Which is why I think it for sure goes above stuff like DAXLing and the Tape, in that the quality that we're talking about on DAXLing has been upped, and the consistency. I mean, it's 4 songs, but I mean, it's undeniable the percentage is higher than it would be on the Tape. That being said, there's 2 things that come to mind. There's not, if we're going for fun, there's just not as many songs as there are on Artificial EP Volume 2. So it's like we're talking about comparable levels of quality, I think. But Artificial has more of them. And if we're talking about like the substance, I think BZAR DAXMAN has its substance and how it ties into the franchise in question and all. But Areen kind of like dreams more in that it's like way more ambitious, and there's like a lot more to like look into. So like honestly, BZAR DAXMAN can be your number one, and I wouldn't be mad at it. But it's ultimately like pick your poison. Like which one of those two things is it that like speaks to you the most? Like for example, if you were to say, "Oh, I really value like the fun," then it's okay. Then you would have to say, "Well, I just really like these fun songs more than the fun songs on Artificial Volume 2 or whatever." You know, and conversely for the ambitiousness of Areen and the ambitiousness of BZAR DAXMAN. But I mean, yeah, this isn't objective at all. It's just where I feel it. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, BZAR.DAXMAN is better than anything on that list.
You're on it.
Yeah, I was on it, so of course I always concede where I have personal biases and everything. So I do. Because like sonically, I would prefer to listen to BZAR.DAXMAN over everything up there.
Yeah.
Like, day in, day out. And theme wise, I feel like even with Daxling, so Daxling and the Bazanks, just so everyone knows what we're talking about. Even with Daxling, when we did it, we weren't doing nerdcore. Want to be famous by followers, primes, and views on big follows. Anyways, sorry, I just distracted me. I wish I was a mod so I could ban him.
I thought we could do something about that. Yeah.
We explore these themes. Of course, we're not going into much depth or anything, or maybe it doesn't have such a personal connection to us or whatever. But we're still like
attempting.
We're going off of it. Like we're hearing it, or we're seeing it, and then we're like, oh, I like that concept. Let's do like music about that and reference this and that and make it relatable, but not necessarily put our own personal interactions with women in it or whatever. Or maybe it could, but at least we're trying to make something that's relatable and not just for people who have watched Daxling or BZAR.DAX.
More general audience, yeah.
Yeah, and we're trying to make it that, and I feel like we did a great job on Daxling at that, and I feel like we did an even better job on BZAR.DAXMAN. I keep confusing myself in my head. BZAR.DAXMAN.
I know.
I feel like we did a better job on that with that one, and I just think that it makes for a great EP by the power couple, DJ Dax and BZAR Good Boy.
I think the best thing it has going for it, and it has many things going for it, but the best thing is the sound. And I want to clarify, it's almost like not even just that everything checks out, that it's like of good quality in that sense, but it's also very satisfying, like in terms of like almost like, I guess, is unique the word? Like it's like oh, y'all did that creative decision, and I like that creative decision. So not even speaking on the lore, not even speaking on the lyrics and stuff, but just like musically, a lot of the stuff involved is creative. At the same token, though, that might be because since BZAR DAXMAN is so close in recency, one of the things that helps it out to feel that way is that it's literally more recent stylistically as well. So like it definitely just straight up appeals to us a bit more. But nah, I mean, we leveled up. That's undeniable. And I love that we got the chance to do that. Before I go into my bonus content, BZAR has taken over the stream and has his bonus content.
I love taking over people's streams when they're not mine. So a little bit of explanation toward this. I don't know why I brought it up, because this is a Daxling thing, or a Darling thing at least. But eventually, I think around the time of BZAR.DAXMAN, we had an argument about Darling.
Yeah.
Me and Dax, and it was on the ending and how it ended. And me being the funny guy, that I am, I wanted to fuck with Dax and send him a proof of my argument. And this is that video. I won't spoil too much, but if you haven't watched Darling, don't worry, it's not fucking good. Just watch the video.
Okay, I'm trying to see how I can pull this up without literally just. Let me see here.
Without exposing our DMs.
Yeah, which I mean, honestly, I may or may not have done already.
I know, I saw it.
All right, whatever. I guess I can stream Discord to you and you can hear it, right? You'll just have to bear the echo.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Oh God.
You hearing yourself? Cool. Oh, I'm not. Oh, it's not streaming. Wait a second. Boop. All right. And here we go, guys.
02君と一つになってゆく02が俺で
ダーリンが僕だ
Spoilers.
大丈夫？あなたは誰？
No.
僕の名前は
Oh shit.
Kill me.
All right, you gotta stop.
Oh my god.
Alright,
I
cool.
almost feel like you didn't give context because nothing could prepare me for that.
Yeah. So the argument was over how they were reincarnated, what they were reincarnated as.
Yeah.
Because Dax was saying that they were reincarnated and they met each other and they were just, they became lovers again. And I was like, no, that didn't happen. They became brother and sister. And so I took that little clip off of YouTube and I replaced the subtitles with what supported my argument and made it kind of funny. I laughed when I sent it to him because he was like, wait, what? He's like, wait, what? Like, it actually got
I believed him. I was like, what? Are you serious? Is this the proof here?
He was like, wait, what? It was pretty funny to me. I mean, one of the things that is so charming about that video is the edit where I didn't even do it. Just worked out perfectly where he's like, blah, 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 little baby. Like, and then her wrist like gleams.
Yeah, which seems like some rap bullshit. Like, yeah, little baby. Skirt. Yeah, like.
It's just good. That's my extra credit or curriculum.
Going into the bonus content here, I got the portfolio page for BZAR DAXMAN. BZAR Goodboy and DJ Dax return in another collaboration. This time concerning the attention-demanding anime collaboration between Subaraya Productions and Studio Trigger. Darling in the Franxx is the anime is not correct. I don't know why I never fixed that. That's funny.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, well, now I know. But that's how pressed that's how pressed I was on really literally doing the same thing over again in terms of the descriptions.
That's why I get confused all the time.
Fire GIF here. The cover art. Very special. BZAR DAXMAN. I don't even remember what the text here is. The Japanese text.
Getty by Guidoman.
Okay.
So it's Guidoman.
Cool. So thank God it wasn't just nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I mentioned it here. Yeah, the cover art uses... Jeez, it sounds like I'm talking about a recipe here. The cover art uses actual line art from the drafting stages in the anime's production, just like... The use of red, blue, cyan, and yellow harkens back to Gridman's main color scheme. The gradient on the line art references the EP's spiritual's predecessor, Daxling and Bazanx, because, you got that, and the grainy lens blurs returns, this time on a dark background, giving off a unique vintage feel. So, dark this time around to, give some parallelism to the light on the last one. And, even with the XX in the back, and you got Gridman in the back here, really symbolizing the truth behind these niggas here.
Spoiling the show.
Team Future, Shiga logos, and then the quote there: "Dreams are things you wake from." That goes for everyone, even you. All the cover arts for it. You got the Amnesia one. You got this little ticket here. I can't remember. Duh, because it's Amnesia. You got Gridman on there. So, you know, you got your protagonist. You got Gridman. Fun fact, this is not even like a render. This is the toy of Gridman. You got the Rikane cover art. BZAR snapped with the notion of having both halves of the face.
Thank you for giving me my credit. Finally, I never get credit for anything that I do with Dax. There we go.
Whatever. Peasant civilian.
I'm just a peasant civilian. He's a team future leader. More like a dictator.
Yeah, I make him do my laundry.
Yeah, pretty much. He makes me give him sexual favors.
Yeah. You know, split down the half. You got this tape kind of like sticking them together. I love that we even got the emotions sort of flipped too, with her sort of smiling and this one kind of going down and in concern. This is sort of hard to pull off too, because one of them is like official art and the other one's like a screen grab, so I had to like sort of make it happen. But yeah, works. Admit to, obviously, for obvious reasons. iPhone XS. We've got Akane here. With a little kiss and a "what about us" a text. Hit me up at the bottom in some plastic wrap. You know, the text being the main tie to the iPhone theme. And we got Rika here. Of course, Akane and Rika get their own, and of course one together. So I'm really fair here. We got "Who Are You?" because it's real you at the bottom. And we even got a fake like Japanese like passport on there as well, as to speak to her identity. I mean, you got the grid folk on the top. Some promotional assets like the banner, track list similar to how Daxing was done. It's out. The Gridman symbol there with that S logo is super clever. And that's that. The only other thing I wanted to bring up was some of the parallelism in the descriptions. Again, super boring stuff. Dax, why does he do this? I mean, for some of you that know too, I even go as far as to doing stuff in the URLs of songs, which is hyper diaper boring as well. But peep game. No Other Way. You've got the hero, which, you know, hero like I'm hero, so that makes sense. On Amnesia, you got Access Flash, which is like a big thing in the show. The URL is that I remember can't pretend, which is like a big thing. And in No Other Way, I see No Other Way. For 02, you got Pobre Diabla, which I explained. The Oni thing, she's a devil. And the URL is Will You Be My 02. On Rikane, Duality of Woman, which is right on the nose. And the URL is Bill Clinton, How Akane Get a Nigga Gone. Which, I mean, do you want to explain that meme? I mean, or I guess I could.
I was gonna explain it during it, but I was like, do they need to know that? But I guess I'll start from the beginning, where we even talked about in Daxling, where a lot of this EP is kind of just born from, you know, like us just hanging out with each other, being friends, and like, yeah. So it's like, you know, including those community memes or, you know, inside jokes in our music and sharing them to people who aren't in on the joke is kind of humorous in its own way. Like it's like, will they get this? No, but like it'll be fun to say it and then have them be like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yes.
And so the Bill Clinton, How I Kind of Get a Nigga Gone is a reference to a song on Jet Set Radio.
Correct.
The Jet Set Radio soundtrack. And there's a rapper, there's a song there's a song.
It's like a third verse or fourth verse or something.
Yeah, it comes up late, but he's like, had to get out of there like Bill Clinton. And that's just like a joke now, like between us.
Yeah, because it caught us so off guard that it was like a dated reference, and we didn't even really know what he meant by that. Like, the most we could surmise was like, I mean, he was impeached, but they didn't like kick him out of office actually. So what is he talking about? So it's just funny. And then the notion of getting a nigga gone. Oh, and I guess because he's did he say nigga also?
Huh?
Did he say nigga also? I don't know.
I don't think so, but this could be interpreted two ways. That I'll speak on this. So the getting him out of office thing could be one way that Bill Clinton how kind of get a nigga gone, but also I don't know if you guys follow the Clinton conspiracies and shit where the Clintons were killing people.
Yes, because of their like scandals and shit.
Yeah, so that's another way that this could be interpreted. I don't know how many people interpret it that way. Yeah. That's not how I meant it, but I mean,
it works.
Sure, why not? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that's definitely that.
Oh. And Akane gets niggas gone. Basically.
Oh yeah, murks them. Yeah, that's right.
Fucking destroyed.
On iPhone XX, the description is 256 gigs, and the URL is FaceTime darling. You cannot call me. iPhone X anthem. On iPhone XS, the description is 512 because we've upgraded our memory, and also the URL is no code of the safe, bitch. The code is my face. On darling, it's the pink hair is the description, and I'm actually like kind of taken aback here. The URL is say yes and be with me forever. Where is that? Is that? Oh, you literally say that.
Yeah.
Okay. And Real You, it's whenever forever for the description. And the URL is I hope you know yourself. So yeah, just a lot of attention to detail there for no goddamn reason. Really tying it together, really making it fun. I mean, guys, I'm almost sad the journey's almost over. But like, what a great review night, day, whatever the hell. Deep into this Immunity saga here, and boy does it culminate tomorrow with Dissension and what's it called? Hot Niggas. Which is gonna be a doozy. I mean, you already know, same time, 10 p.m. It's been fun. It's been real. We're gonna get into it. I mean, I almost don't even want to speak on those last two projects because they're so recent, and I want to leave all that explored for tomorrow or unexplored for tomorrow to explore.
We'll do it tomorrow, exploring.
Yeah. How satisfying. We're gonna get our next solo DAX effort and our next kind of collab project. And yeah, we'll finally close out the review week, the DJ DAX review week. Thank you guys for coming out. Those who stuck through, those peeping the vibes, all that. You have a good night and sweet dreams.
Good night.
That's on the house.